It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Now on ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD-2, and streaming live at ArizonaSports.com. The guys are powered by the law offices of Lerner and Rowe. In a record need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And now on your ESPN station in Phoenix, ESPN 620, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
All right, here we go. Live from White Toyota in Scottsdale at Roc Manuch with you today. We've got Laz, we've got Connor. Connor's at the ESPN Radio Phoenix studios. Laz is getting the camera going for our YouTube, and we are ready to go as we are presented, as you just heard the big voice guy for the law office of Lerner and Rowe. Make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. And we've got a packed show today. Super Bowl chaos, Hall of Fame controversy, record betting money, Arizona sports front and center, and yes, we're going to start right here at home because suddenly Phoenix has a very real question on its hands. Is Deion Brooks slowly becoming the son? Dylan Brooks slowly becoming the Suns' best player. Not the loudest, not the flashiest, but the guy who shows up every night. He's healthy. He's consistent. He defends everybody. He takes the toughest assignment, and lately he's scoring like a number one option. So that's our State Free Roofing Get Your Call question today. Yes, Dylan Brooks is becoming the Suns' best player because of availability and consistency. Or no, Devin Booker is still the guy and always will be. So we ask you to vote on our State Free Roofing Get Your Call question of the day. Just search Roc Manuch on all our social media platforms. You can vote right there. And, of course, State Free Roofing is number one confirmed roofer in the state. And you can hit statefreeroofing.com. So we're going to rewind Dylan Brooks' villain night. You'll hear it straight from him on the T-shirt night. We got Sean Salisbury joining us, unfiltered on Belichick, Brady, and the Super Bowl week. We got a local PGA pro punches his ticket to the WM Open. Rick Horrow will break down where the real money is moving in sports. We also got Hall of Famer Kurt Warner joining us in hour number 3, along with former Sun Devil and Seattle Seahawks analyst Paul Moyer. But next, we dive right into Phoenix Suns. Well, one thing is amazing to me, at least from somewhat of a degenerate gambler. Whenever I think the Suns are going to lose or the Suns are going to win, they do the opposite. Like they should have destroyed Atlanta last week. Sure, they get beat. Last night, a Piston team's coming in, and a team here, that being the Suns, beat up, no book.
No Jalen Green.
We need to just stop with the Jalen Green.
Well, he was scheduled that he was a late scratch. So
we were on the air yesterday. He was out. So it's one of those things where can we just as a fan base just look at the Suns team without Jalen Green
for now? Yeah, you're gonna have to.
Need for now. We've
Well, you got to hope.
Looks at him.
You got to hope Rock he's back. I hope either tonight or Sunday, and then hopefully he can cure this hamstring issue moving it through. But you might have a point. He may not. He may be off and on the entire year. We see this with a couple of guys that with Phoenix Suns. Kevin Johnson, way back, 92, 93, always had that quad injury. He'd go 10 games, Bradley Beal. But KJ would go 10 games, out for 3, 10 out for 3. And we would just hope when they'd go to the playoffs that he wouldn't be injured for the playoffs.
But that team had other superstars.
They did, sure.
Not like this team where you needed Jalen Green to really get over the hump. But I think we're going to get down the road where we're already there, where these guys in the locker room are saying, come on, WTF, what's going on? Come on, cautionary? I mean, play the guy. He's getting paid.
Either you're available or you're not. These precautionary hamstring issues, play the guy. If you only play him for 15, 20 minutes. Is
he questionable tonight right now?
I think he is questionable right now. Yeah, he is. I think he may be until their game on Sunday and then maybe early next week. But I think that the one thing I look at is, okay, well, if he's playing you're running him hard at practice and he's shooting, well, dress him out, let him play for 10, 15 minutes. What's the difference if you've got him going through these workouts before the game? Why don't you just put him through a quasi-workout during the game, run the plays, play him 5 minutes at a time, 15, 20 minutes, and let him work himself back into the lineup that way versus he had a really good workout before the game. Well, if he did, why isn't he playing? It just befuddles me with that type of
So on a night build, Dylan the villain, Brooks delivered a performance of his career. He scored 24 points in the first half, finished with a career high 40. He was 13 and 22 from the floor. His previous high was 37, but it wasn't just scoring. He was physical. He had the energy. He had some timely buckets late in the game. He was blowing up offensive actions. He was forcing rush shots. He was playing winning basketball. And, you got a Detroit team that their offense is just stalled. They can't hit a three. I mean, I think they were 6 of 29.
Yeah, they were
From the three-point,
yeah.
well below their season average.
Yeah, like
And
21% or something like that.
They hit a bunch of breaks in the fourth quarter. And Phoenix turned them into rebounds and stops, and they controlled the final minutes of that game.
Yeah, you win by 18, and you had the lead 95% of the time.
Yeah.
That's interesting. The Detroit Pistons, the best record in the NBA in the East, and they come in here. It just goes to show you when you got Grayson Allen, and you got Gillespie and Book hitting on all cylinders, and Mark Williams giving you enough rebounds, running the floor, making some key stops, and getting some points in the paint. That's a pretty good, winning formula. On the bench, they did their job. They came in, played fairly well too. Bouye, that kid is he's impressed me how he handles the ball and gets some key points. So it was a total team contribution. But to win by 18 and I even said this yesterday, I said, well, this might be a good scrimmage for the Pistons. I said that knowing you had two of your guys down, Book's down, Green's not playing, and you're coming off a back-to-back. You got to remember that, too. Suns came off the back-to-back. Mark Williams played, and they just shot lights out. Out.
See what they do with Cleveland tonight. Cleveland in town. But go back to Brooks. It's floating around. His name's floating around to be an all-star reserve. He may be the only person that goes for the Phoenix Suns. And even Barkley argued it publicly that he deserves the all-star consideration. And it's not the numbers he's putting up, it's the defense he's playing and what he's doing on the court, the tone setting, stuff.
Right.
So I think it's great. You're going to start seeing a bunch of Dylan Brooks jerseys out there. I'm sure that's got to be a number one jersey right now, and I'm sure people are jumping on it. People like the villain stuff, and he accepted it. He saw the post-game interview, and when the sideline reporter, she asked him, and he didn't want to let the crowd down.
Sure. I think it's been well needed for this team. It's been kind of a very, when I say milquetoast kind of team, very vanilla team as far as emotions concerned. Nobody really has shown any emotion the last 3 years, even with Bradley Beal, KD, or even Booker. So there's nobody that I call sergeant at arms. Really, there wasn't that quasi-enforcer to stand up for your team. And I think what Dylan Brooks does is he stands up for his team, plays hard. To your point, Roc, he's defense, gets up and down the court. He can take a game over. He shows his attitude by driving down low. And just you can see in his eyes how much he loves this game. And I think what he's done, he's really changed the vibe in that locker room. And you can see guys, really, paying off of that or playing off of that you really start to see Dylan Brooks, I think, emerging as that quasi-leader along with Devin Booker. They need his aggressiveness. He's just got to be smart. Doesn't get too mentally irregular, that 16th technical, and miss a game. And then I think from that standpoint, I love his aggressiveness and how much he can score. I didn't realize, we just watched him periodically. I remember watching him in Oregon a lot. I said, that kid's damn good. When he went to Houston, you're kind of like, you lose track of a lot of these guys. But when you see him on a night in and night out basis, literally, you see a guy that is consistently consistent through every aspect of his game. There's not a weakness in his game. And on top of that, as far as rebounding, he's a big dude, 6'8", 240. He can get up and down the court and go down low if he has to.
Still no coach for the Arizona Cardinals. Of course, we'll keep an eye on that if something would come down today. But Clint Kubiak is now reportedly back in the mix with another interview. I don't know when they can do this.
I think they're supposed to do it tomorrow.
Yeah, I know, but why are they allowed to do it?
Well, I think there's a window there.
Do you have till Sunday, and then you report to Santa Clara, and then you're done?
Well, I think that's...
You can interview that week.
Yeah, there's...
Arizona Sports is reporting that he is meeting tomorrow.
Yeah, and so are the Raiders. So the Raiders and the Cardinals are both going to meet him tomorrow. That's his only window that he can go ahead and interview with the Cardinals and the Raiders. And then after that, so that's his window as far as whether they leave Saturday or Sunday, whatever.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. And at that point in time, everybody put their best foot forward.
So they're gambling.
Oh, yeah. Here.
It's not like it's
There's no guarantee he takes either one of the jobs. I said that yesterday. I said there's no guarantee that he goes, you know what? Excuse me. There's the Raiders situation is not there. The Cardinals situation, not what I want. Why not wait another year and see what opens up next year?
CC.
Actually, I did just see this coming out this morning on the Pat McAfee show. Adam Schefter did make a bold statement saying that either Clint Kubiak is going to be the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals or the Las Vegas Raiders next year. But he said that it is pretty much a lock that he is going to be taking one of those jobs. It just depends on which one.
Yeah. I don't know how you not take the next job.
Well, I'm the same way. If he does take a job, it would be either.
Say that.
Well, you got because
someone like to see the Cardinals too well.
Yeah.
That just sucks.
Well, he's got to look at the entire situation. You know, the legacy of the Raiders over the years. I would just make sure I get my 5-year contract guaranteed, and then Mark Davis doesn't blow him out after 2 or 3 years if Fernando Mendoza doesn't start to come around. And like I said, if he's guaranteeing it, why would Kubiak run it back one more year with Seattle when you're thinking, well, maybe Andy Reid retires next year? There's a couple of openings with there'll be quarterbacks, established franchise quarterbacks that you'll have at your repertoire. And it's not as if he has to take it, but I'd say, hey, look, think about coming back. They'll give him a bump in pay. They'll work on his title, and then he can look and see what openings you have next year. I think there'll be some more quality openings with franchise guys next year.
We're going to get into our replay rewind next. We'll head into the Suns locker room after last night's big win over Detroit. Dylan Brooks embracing the villain role, so you'll hear from him. You'll hear from Coach Ott. Sean Salisbury in about 15 minutes. This is Roc and Manuch on ESPN Radio Phoenix. We're on FM at 98.7 and on the Arizona Sports App.
Game on Peoria. When it's time to eat big, drink cold, and watch every play, make it Big's American Bar and Grill in the P83 district. Big's is serving up huge portions of your favorites. Burgers, wings, nachos, plus a full bar and TVs everywhere you look. And don't miss happy hour Monday through Thursday, 3 to 6:30 p.m. with $2 off well drinks and $2 off domestic drafts, plus daily specials all week long. Bring your friends, grab a seat on the patio, and settle in for the game. Big's American Bar and Grill, where Peoria comes to play, eat, and watch.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
Hey, every Tuesday at 2 o'clock, make sure you're locked in for the Lopes Report, powered by Global Credit Union, on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B right here on ESPN Radio Phoenix. Each week, the guys are talking GCU athletics, the playmakers, the coaches, and the people building one of the fastest rising programs in the country. And if you miss it live, we've got you covered. Every Lopes Report is posted on the Arizona Sports app and the guys' social platforms. The Lopes Report, Tuesdays at 2. Powered by Global Credit Union.
Hey, y'all, I'm Kelly Clarkson. Every American dreams of creating a better life for his or her family, but in some communities, those dreams face difficult challenges. When we come together to help those in need get the same opportunities as everyone else, we truly are making our country a better place to live for all of us. So look for volunteer opportunities in your community to help others achieve the American dream, all right? This message is courtesy of the United States Air Force.
Life's a sprint, and you need a quick pick-me-up. Meet G2G protein bars, the ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether you're hustling in the office, enjoying a day on the links, or conquering the daily grind, G2G is your perfect fuel. Score an 8-pack at your local Costco's refrigerated section, or explore amazing flavors at G2Gbar.com. Quick, delicious, and power-packed. G2G protein bars, setting the pace for your energetic lifestyle.
Every day in Arizona, drivers and pedestrians share the road. Always watch out for pedestrians, even when you have the right of way. Make sure to follow the speed limit. Just a few extra miles per hour can mean the difference between life and death. Keep your eyes on the road at all times, not your phone. and never block or park in crosswalks. It's dangerous. Visit gohs.az.gov for more information. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Now it's time for our replay rewind. The top sounds of the night and whatever Roc decides to add. Let's get to it in Replay Rewind with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620 and on FM at 98.7 HD2.
Brooks up the left wing, crosses over into the lane, scoop shot, up and in. 40 points on the night. Hold up, wait up, pull up, stop for a minute. He's got one shot. You can't stop the man on the mission. That's Dylan Brooks tonight. Suns by 16, 105-89.
Nice call, John Bloom. All right, Dylan Brooks goes full villain. Fires back at the critics, shouts out Booker, and Coach Ott talks culture change as we're getting into the Suns locker room right now for our replay rewind. And we will start with Dylan Brooks embracing the villain role and saying he wasn't about to lose on his night. But you hear this?
Yeah, I didn't want to disappoint and, lose on my villain night. So appreciate the Suns for, making a shirt for me, and let's go.
Nothing better when a player steps on his day. It's baseball, it's a bobblehead day. And, I think it was Shohei Ohtani this year on bobblehead day in Los Angeles, first at bat. Goes yard.
Home run.
Place just goes absolutely bonkers.
Had a couple stolen bases, I think, that day. It's one of those.
He pitched that day, too, probably.
Isn't that amazing? It's Dylan the Villain. That's his best night ever as a pro as far as scoring. I love that.
Oh, 37 before that. So
yeah, but
that's a pretty good night.
He has. But I mean, as far as ever, it's 40 points. That last shot there, John Bloom talked about. Just this guy was motivated. I think guys is totally feed off all that.
Brooks fires back at the T-shirt night talk, says this has nothing to do with the promos and that he could drop 40 whenever he wants.
No, there's games where I could have got 40 before. I just, missed a couple shots here or didn't get enough shots there. But, every night I can go get 30 or 40 if I want to. Just get into my spots. And, ultimately, just me working on my craft at night, it comes out in the game.
He really does. I mean, you watch him over and over again. He could go down low, shoot the three. He's 4 for 7 for three-point shooting last night. I mean, just talk about the complete game he has. I mean, I'm more impressed more and more each and every day, just the consistency with him. Of night in and night out, just showing that same kind of commitment, as you mentioned, to his craft. And when you have a guy that's committed to his craft, that's in a situation like that, you really feel that, hey, he's dialed in. It's almost as if it's like new life for him. He's really feeling, hey, look, I got a new start here. I'm a guy that I want them to lean on. He's welcomed that challenge.
All right, Dylan Brooks calling himself an all-star level, but says the real all-star on this team is Devin.
Yeah, I feel like I'm playing at a level, and ultimately, I'm not gonna, beg for it or do anything like that. If it comes, it comes. But the real all-star is Book. He's been leading us the whole time, and he deserves to be in that all-star talk, and being a reserve on that all-star team.
Yeah, humility of Dylan Brooks as well too. You love that. Acknowledging that Book is the guy on this team. But yeah, I gotta love as Charles Barkley, as you mentioned earlier, Roc, kind of pounding the pavement, sounding the alert that Dylan Brooks should be an alternate name. And I think quite a few of the pundits on the broadcast last night were all saying, I think there was like one differential that they all had, but Dylan Brooks was their reserve.
All right, wait until you hear who showed up to the post game wearing a Dylan Brooks villain shirt. The coach was in on.
Yeah, I love J.O. He works tirelessly on his craft like me, so I can relate. Appreciate him for wearing the shirt. Keep it close, and he knows where to get the guys in the right spots to make plays, and I'm glad he trusts me to make plays.
You gotta love your head coach buying in to something like that. I mean, to have the T-shirt, wear that, show up at the presser, and that's endearing for the guys in that locker room. It really is. I mean, that's when you know your coach is totally bought in with you and in sync with you. And just love seeing that. They gave him the game ball as well last time in the locker room. So good to see the head coach dialed in with you.
Here he is on Brooks, rising in the big moment, and why this was a tone-setting win.
That's what big-time players do. They rise in big-time games. This was a big-time game. So when he leads it by example on both ends of the ball, we feel really good about our chances, especially in this environment at home. His intent from the get-go was high level.
They had that big game, too, against the Pistons. Everybody's odds-on favorite, so to speak, in the East. But to have that and to shine like that, to prove to a lot of people, he'd be very deserving of a reserve role.
All right, last clip. Coach Ott breaks down how this team has completely changed its culture and identity this season and why it's finally clicking.
You don't never know what the full package looks like when it comes to games when you're talking in the summer. And I think we've talked a lot about it, just what Dylan brings from day one, land, right to the gym, whether he got changed or whatever, and he comes back to the gym on day one. That's what he does. And I'm not sure you can fully grasp all that before you bring them into your place and into your program. But that's what changes programs. Players do it. When you have Dylan Brooks that does that, that's who he is. Book is a worker. Grayson, Royce, like all those guys, they set the tone. We can have a vision, we can have an idea, you can have a concept, but to put it into action comes back to the players. So, we're in a good place. We got more to go, but definitely that tone was set early, even before the game started.
So that's your replay rewind brought to you by Lerner and Rowe. Make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. Got Sean Salisbury's going to join us. I thought it was funny. It's not just came over that Joe Flacco been named the Pro Bowl. But dude, you have a chance now.
I do.
I mean, if Shador Sanders can make it, I mean, how many times? I mean,
that's amazing.
Somebody played for the same team.
Yeah.
Same year.
And Joe Flacco, as a backup in the National Football, he could probably play a couple more years if he wants to.
18 under his belt.
I mean, it's kind of like, okay, anybody, they're putting an APB out to all the quarterbacks that are available. Anybody want to play in this flag football game next week? Anybody? So good for Joe. Joe can still spit it, especially in a flag football game.
Go ahead, Les. You're dying to talk on the microphone.
Back to Suns news really quick. Pretty important. Our Suns guru for Arizona Sports.
Is it really that important?
Kellen Olson says Jalen Green is off the injury report, and so he is a full go, ready to roll tonight versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. It's pretty important news.
So when you say that, I'm like, how long can he last?
Exactly. It's like
I think he's just uncomfortable. He's nervous about the hamstring.
Well, then play through it. Either take him off. But I'm like you. I'm like, okay, when's the other shoe going to drop?
Yeah.
Okay, so how long
until he can play 2 games in a row, maybe 3 games in a row.
How about like 3 weeks in a row? I mean, just consistent.
Yeah.
And I got to give Jordan a lot of credit. This team is doing their thing without Jalen Green, literally without Jalen Green this year. He's played, 2-3 games of that. I mean, 2 full games of that. And I'm kind of okay. It's like, it's almost like, crying wolf. Hey, he's going to play. You got tights when you take him out. Hey, he's going to play. Yeah, we observed the tightness. Just sit him out then for a while. Trade deadline's coming up February 5th, so they protect him there. They won't trade him anyway. But it's just kind of like, all right, Jalen. Can you last? How many minutes are you going to play? 5, 10, 15? I'm sure he's on a minute count.
We should do a contest.
No minutes restriction. He's ready to roll.
We should do a contest.
That's what they say.
And everybody calls in and predict how many points he's going to score for his first game. I'm going to go 18.
Okay.
Because he's got the capability of 30.
Gets the Cavs tonight. I'll say he'll get 15
It's a back-to-back.
Yeah.
He's going to get the ball.
He's got to pick up the slack, yes, for everybody. So I think they'll go to him more so. And if he's been playing hard, practicing hard, and he's holding up really good these last week and a half, then give him the ball. You got Grayson Allen, Gillespie, Dylan Brooks. You got him. You got a group of guys like Royce O'Neal. Yeah, I think he'll get his fair share. I'll go 15.
Go 15?
Yeah, Laz, where are you going?
I think he'll score 25 tonight. He's playing with no minute restriction.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
I mean, I'm a homer, but even I wouldn't go that high.
We got
25.
Yeah.
I was going to say 23, but I'll round up.
I mean, I'm Homer Simpson to the max when it comes to the Sun. I mean, I'll take that.
25.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I'm anxious to see him like that. I just like we just said, we just got to see some consistency.
Just play.
When he's in.
Yeah.
It's obvious. Even the short
is.
amount of time
Yep.
we've seen him.
I agree.
He's a stud.
He's a stud. He's a dude, man.
And I honestly didn't really watch him much, prior to him coming to Phoenix. I don't think anybody really
I didn't
did,
either.
unless you're a diehard NBA fan.
Yeah. Unless you watch highlights,
or a huge
you
Rockets
see the
fan.
kid on the highlights go up down the court, go, damn, this kid's good. I mean, when they got him at Brooks, Brooks I've watched more so than Greenwood.
Because of his reputation.
Yeah, because he was out there a little bit. But I just loved his size and the way he approached games. But Jalen Green, you watch him on highlights, well, damn, that kid's good.
Yeah. All right, we're going to hit the Belichick Hall of Fame snub once again. It's not getting old. Sean Salisbury, unfiltered, uncensored. He will join us next to discuss that along with some other stuff that's going on in the National Football League. But first, here's a local ESPN Radio 620 Sports Center update with Con.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Connor Collins. The Phoenix Suns beat the Detroit Pistons 114-96 last night behind 40 points from Dylan Brooks and another 24 added on by Grayson Allen. Phoenix now improved to 29-19 without Devin Booker and Jalen Green, although Green rumored to return tonight from Markelle and Olsen, here reporting with Arizona Sports. In MLB news, the Arizona Diamondbacks and reliever Derek Law reached an agreement on a minor league contract with a spring training invite. And in the NFL, Arizona Cardinals continue their head coaching search with the Seahawks offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak scheduled to meet with the team this weekend in Seattle. The weekend is better at Twin Peaks, and nobody does sports like Twin Peaks. Nobody. Catch the action live at any of the 5 Valley locations and enjoy all-day specials on ice-cold draft beers, buckets, specialty cocktails, or pair it with scratch-made bites and their, of course, 29-degree draft beers. Twin Peaks. Eat, drink, scenic view.
Nobody does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Nobody. Whatever you're craving, we got it. Tequila cocktails, premium bourbon pours, and top shelf spirits served over ice balls that hit just right. Local craft beers and handcrafted whiskey cocktails, yep, all here. And with 5 Valley locations. And don't forget the teeth-chattering 29-degree drafts we're famous for. Pair it all with scratch kitchen bites that actually satisfy. From shareables to hearty favorites. When it comes to happy hour, Twin Peaks doesn't play. Twin Peaks eats, drinks, scenic views.
Swing into Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf to get custom fit for the new tailor-made QI4D driver. The QI4D family is TaylorMade's fastest, most fittable driver line. Don't miss out on your chance to find your new fast and schedule your fitting in-store or online today. Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, trusted by golfers since 1963 and home to the legendary 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee. Get there.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. Being in an auto accident is traumatic. You need to call the best law firm that has the experience to get you the best results. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Phoenix, it's the biggest week in golf, and we're right in the middle of it. Join Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B live from DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale for the WM Open. Monday through Wednesday, February 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Special guests, giveaways, wall-to-wall WM Open energy, and the best atmosphere in golf before the madness even starts. Grab a seat, grab a drink, and be part of the action. Or listen live on ESPN 620. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Live at DraftKings TPC Scottsdale. WM Open Week. Don't miss it.
Need to feed a crowd? Let Venencia's bring the flavor to your next event. We know you have a lot of options when feeding a large group. Ordering directly from Venencia's means you get the best service and the absolute best pricing. There's no per-person fee. Just tell us how many people you need to feed, and we'll come up with a perfect plan to ensure everyone's well-fed and happy. Grad party, office celebration, family reunion. Invite Venencia's to the table. Text catering to 411-24/7. That's catering to 411-247 or Venencias.com.
When I grow up, I want to be a teacher.
Because when I'm a teacher, I can help kids to learn and chase their dreams.
PI, a defect of the immune system, affects millions of children. Early and accurate diagnosis and treatment give children like Sam a chance to achieve their dreams.
It takes a lot of caring teachers to make school fun. It took a lot of caring people to keep my dream alive. And now, because of them, I could be head of the class.
For more information, visit the Jeffrey Modell Foundation at info4pi.org.
Time for your uncensored and unfiltered view on football and even life. Former NFL and USC quarterback, the QB maximizer, Sean Salisbury.
Salisbury protected well. Looking at the first down as he hits Aunt Lee, the X-29.
Now on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
Ronald looking at him again. Some pressure though. Hit as he throws back open. Guess who? Smith and Jigba. Touchdown, Seattle.
Also want to add host of Untamed, which is on YouTube at 11 o'clock. Also, the National Football Director for NSR. He joins us now on the right to a guest on here on ESPN Radio Phoenix. How we doing there, Mr. Salisbury? What's going on, my friend?
Gentlemen, all good, man. How you guys?
Play, man. 84, 83.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got some March weather right now, man. I don't know if that's good or not. I think it's a little early. I don't know if we're ready.
No, I love it. I'll take the heat. We're at in the 50s today. We're getting down to the 30s, and we were in the teens a couple days ago. So yeah, I'll take your weather any day. Although 56 ain't bad. It's a little windy. I'll take 84 in February and January. I'm good. Yeah.
Hey, Sean, when the news came down with Bill Belichick not getting in the first ballot, is this a Hall of Fame problem or a Belichick problem?
Well, first off, it's an embarrassment for the Hall of Fame voters.
Yeah.
I love Bill Polian. Always, he belongs in the Hall of Fame. Polian, he was one of the great GMs in building teams. He built more than one team, should I say. But just like players lose their fastball and got to retire, it may be time to strip Bill Polian of his Hall of Fame vote or his ability to convince people to Hall of Fame. And like, but I can compartmentalize and say, because of this, that his whole career, we can't say, well, what did you do? He did plenty. But this is an embarrassment. This is, if I say, give me the three best golfers of all time, you're not leaving Woods out. Matter of fact, he may be, some have him there. If I say the three best head coaches of all time, you're not leaving Belichick out. If I say the three best baseball players of all time, Babe Ruth's name's going to be mentioned. Willie May. I mean, it's just, and he is to coaching what Jordan, Tiger, Gretzky is to their sport. So I don't know, and it's not the voters' place to judge these dozen or so guys. It's not their place to judge whether you like his personality or not, or whether he snubbed you on an interview and you're holding a grudge because he kicked your ass on a regular basis. If you say you don't think his performance was the reason, then you shouldn't have a vote. If you wanted to take away two of his Super Bowls because you didn't like Spygate or the Deflategate, he's still a first ballot Hall of Famer. So I don't know. This is simply has zero to do with his performance and what belongs in the Hall of Fame and what the criteria is. Then it does ego, grudge, and pride. And Bill Polian for pounding the table and these guys for buying into it. We really do need to start stripping guys and start checking. You can't just give a person a vote and disappear for 30 years and decide, well, you know what, they still got it. Some may, whether it's they just don't watch enough or don't pay attention or can't get rid and they become an older curmudgeon, whatever it is. It's the same with the Heisman Trophy. If you're not watching players play and you're just going, you're voting because you got a favorite, you haven't watched, you shouldn't be voting for the Heisman Trophy. You shouldn't be voting for the Hall of Fame. So we have got to vet Hall of Fame voters the way we vet Hall of Fame possibilities, like the inductees. I mean, it's a serious thing. It's important to these guys. We have less than 400 people in the Hall of Fame. And in truth, of the 400 people, the 387 or whatever it is in the NFL Hall of Fame, there's not 15 of them that would have went in before him if we judged performance.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm talking about coaches or players.
Sure.
So, you know what? And like I said, you want to take away Deflategate, and it begs the question now. If the voters are going to have this, well, we'll see. We'll see if these guys feel the same way about personality and ego and why would you put Brady in the first foul pit? He was on those teams.
Sure.
He got the advantage of, and Jimmy Johnson was spot on with this about, let them know how he feels, and then you'd have to judge. You better go and look at everybody else in the league that's trying to get extra highlights, and all of us quarterbacks who all fiddled with air in the ball and seeing on a cold day, let a little air out so you can grip it better. It's ridiculous. They may have taken it to different levels, but not enough to keep you out of the Hall of Fame. You can't sustain that. You got to perform and practice and prepare it. We all know it. And when people who competed against him are on Bill's side about this, meaning Belichick, this is fraudulent stuff. It is. And listen, if it was like the Eli Manning thing, I'd get my son keeping Eli out of the Hall of Fame right now. Then maybe next year, the year after, because he was 117 and 117 and threw a lot of picks, but was a great clutch performer, and his durability is off the charts. I see why you say, well, you know what, I'm going to wait another year. Belichick, there should be no waiting. Belichick should have been inducted while he was in about year 10 of this run. Okay, so, and I know we don't do that. So to me, it's just you've got to start replacing those guys. But how hard are we going to look at the Brady thing? I'm on Brady's side and Belichick's side. But if you're doing that to him, what's the difference? So why in the world, when Brady's opportunity on first foul comes up, why would you put him in if you're those 12 voters or whatever they were?
I'm sorry, Sean. I'm like,
why would you?
I sat there and went, I love your rant on Facebook. I shared that. And I just like, it's Bill Belichick. I don't care if it's the other 3, 4, 5 that are there. Matter of fact, the other 3 or 4 are the senior side, would have been in with the senior executive situation, but they flipped it back with this voting saying, well, the 3 or 4 people want to get these senior guys in versus Bill Belichick. I'm like, are you kidding me? So a couple of questions. Why would they change the seniors to be incorporated with this year? The last few years, it was stood on its own merit. But still, I'm sorry, it's Bill Belichick, period, end of sentence, full stop.
I'll tell you just a real quick, and I was doing NFL Live Sports Center at the Super Bowl in Miami years ago when Boomer Esiason was doing Monday Night Football. And he was on our set that night, myself, and I don't know if it was Chris Berman or it might have been Mark Malone that night who was hosting. Berman sometimes fills in on those shows Super Bowl week. But we were sitting on the set going through it, and the Hall of Fame, you start, it was like a Thursday or Friday show before the Hall of Famers were announced, right? And before we knew the result. And I was on the set, and I said, listen, what people are saying now, I said, this is 20 years ago. And it's not a pat on the back, but we should have been looking at this a long time ago. There were people that weren't going to vote for Lawrence Taylor because of his off the field, the issues with drugs and his off the field stuff. That wasn't part of the criteria. You're not the law. Yeah. Part of the, if that's the case, then half the dudes you got a ticket or you smoked a joint or got caught doing something, then we're going to have to clear out a lot of personalities in the Hall of Fame. You want the judge. You're not his marriage counselor. You're not his counselor, or you're not his. This isn't the Mr. Congeniality Award. Now, if you want to implement that, the criteria and what the protocol is, fine. But this isn't a personality test. This isn't Sandra Bullock and Miss Congeniality. That's not what this was. And I was loud and passionate about the fact that if you leave him off based on that, you should not be allowed to vote. If you left him off because you thought, well, he wasn't a good performer, which nobody in the world would say. That'd be like leaving Brady off if there was no deflate. I mean, it's just, I can't fathom it. And we see it all the time in baseball, the personalities, and I know human nature kicks in. It can't. And Manuch, you're exactly right. This is Belichick. You have to you've got to compartmentalize and say, okay, let's look at the criteria and let's look at the record. Let's look at the performance. Does he belong in regardless? And if I looked at you and said, hey, Manuch and Roc, you got 2 votes for the Hall of Fame, I'm going to take 2 Super Bowls away from Brady. I'm from Belichick, just because of the controversy, just for the fun of it. Is he still a Hall of Famer? The answer is unequivocally yes.
Yes.
And a first ballot one at that. So I don't know how they do it, but we don't seem to vet voters in these big, important issues as much as we criticize those who should or shouldn't be in. It's an embarrassment. And it was a bad day and a bad week for the Hall of Fame.
Yesterday, we had a gentleman that comes on our show all the time from New England, John Sapacek. Great guy. He's been doing television, radio for forever, writer, and all that stuff in Boston. And he said that he felt that he unequivocally stated that Belichick leaked this. That this was all Bill Belichick who leaked it.
Allegedly.
And I don't know how much truth to that is. That was news to me.
Yeah.
Because he went on and on about the fact that Belichick and Kraft don't get along at all. And rooting against the Patriots, everything he could to kind of overshadow the Super Bowl.
There was a lot of junk in that trunk, John.
Well, you know what? And well, listen, in this day and age, I don't put it past anybody for anything. Do you guys?
No.
Bill. I mean, I love Belichick, guys. I do, but I don't like if this is true. Well, first of all, that wouldn't shock me. We get people doing this all the time to get their name out there to kind of trump something else that somebody else is trying to be excited about. And I think one voter I thought I read where one guy on social media said, it came down to Belichick or Kraft for me, and I chose Kraft. Well, Kraft was also the owner during this regime of the Deflategate and the Spygate. So, and Mr. Kraft should be in. I get all that, but it wouldn't surprise me. That doesn't shock me if he's the one who leaked it. We get people doing this all the time. I mean, you could be your tape could be just as dumb as Emmanuel Acho's on Todd Monken. We have that all the time to get for clicks and likes, and now it wouldn't shock me. Belichick's taken a lot of heat the last year and a half or 2 years, a ton of it. So if he doesn't like it and felt they did him wrong, and now they're going to the Super Bowl, that wouldn't shock me. But regardless, everybody's got these egos of pride, and Bill belongs in it. He's probably butthurt. He probably did do it, and everybody's trying to get their last dig in. Even with all that, it worked for Belichick because the whole world's by his side, even if he didn't like him. And I do. Even if you didn't like him, you can't resist. You can't deny the fact that he's not only a first ballot Hall of Famer. There's not 10 guys in the Hall of Fame that deserve to be a first ballot more than him.
I know you have kind of ties to Boston because you like the Red Sox, but me being a Philly guy, I absolutely love the fact that these, I call them assholes, are just losing their mind. The New England fan is just going crazy over this. How do you not like Belichick?
It makes for great
so much fun
for us. It makes for great fodder for all of us, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I love it. I'm
EEI is going nuts.
Hey, Bill, how can they not put Bill in the Hall of Fame? Well, I can throw a few F-bombs and a couple other words that the East Coast Bostonians are great at throwing, and I love it. But give me a beer. We're going to go to Fenway Park and stand on the Fenway on the monster and bitch about Bill not getting in. How dare them? Then what are they going to do with Tommy? They don't ever call him Tom either. East Coast Tommy. It's like Tommy was there so long, it's like it's their kid. He's a relative. They put on the block. Tommy will be there. We're going to talk about Bill. It's just ridiculous. These effing sea suckers. How dare them? I can already I can already hear it. Oh, yeah. Oh, no doubt. Bill Polian, shame on Polian. What did that guy ever win? Oh, he won a couple of Super Bowls. Screw him. Bill won 30 of them. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Love him. I love my Bostonians, brother. I got 50 dudes who worked with me at Boston, at ESPN or from Boston, and I'm like, I know you guys are going nuts, and I could just hear them with that. And the accent gets more pronounced the more pissed off they get. You know what I mean? I fucking love it. Oh, yeah.
We love you, Sean. Have a great weekend, buddy.
You too, man. Have a good one. I appreciate you. Thanks.
Yeah, that's Sean Salisbury. You got to check out his Unpaved, which is on YouTube at 11 o'clock daily. Check it out, as well as if you are got kids that are looking to get to that next level. He's the National Football Director of NSR, so National Recruiting. So does a great job there. So appreciate that. When it comes to game day pizza here in Arizona, Venezia's Pizzeria makes pizza easy. 7 locations across the valley. You can order online at venezias.com. All right, if you're an Arizona fan, you might like what you see. If you're an Arizona State fan, you might want to sit down. It's nothing to do with tomorrow's game. It has to do with the next football season for both the Sun Devils and the Wildcats. That's next right here on Roc and Manuch, GBB, right to it.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. Getting rear-ended once is bad enough. Don't let the insurance company hit you again with a lowball offer. Call an experienced attorney who knows how to fight and win. Call Lerner and Rowe today. 977-1900.
Sun Devil men's basketball is heating up, and now you can build a ticket plan on your terms. With the Sun Devils mini plan, you choose any 6 home games you want, including the biggest Big 12 matchup of the year, Kansas and Arizona. Lock in the rivalries, circle the heavy hitters, or stack your schedule with weekends that work for you. 6 games, your choice, your vibes, your Sun Devils. Grab your mini plan today at sundeviltickets.com. That's sundeviltickets.com.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selection. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Franklin Wright Boulevard, and always online at wrighttoyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out wrighttoyota.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
You buckle them in, but are they really protected? In Arizona, child passenger safety starts with the right car seat. Double check that your child is in the proper seat based on their age and size, and that it's correctly installed. The wrong fit or a loose seat can put your child at serious risk. Need help installing your car seat? Certified technicians can help for free. Learn more at gohs.az.gov. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
On February 21st, the Arizona Cardinals Foundation will host the first ever Cardinals Climb. State Farm Stadium will transform into a mountain-like experience with trail-inspired routes for all ages and abilities, raising funds for 4 organizations benefiting Arizona's special needs community: Barrow Neurological Foundation, SARC, Special Olympics Arizona, and Treasure House.
Join Wolf and Burns on the Arizona sports team by texting HIKE to 620-620 today. Because together, we climb higher. Message and data rates may apply.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B want to take you back. A quick reflection on some of the more memorable moments in sports and pop culture. Now, time for your Wright Toyota on this day report. Wright Toyota, right on the corner, right on the price. Wright Toyota in Scottsdale.
All right, real quick. On this day, January 30th, 1983, John Reagan, Super Bowl MVP, as the Redskins defeated the Dolphins 27-17. Basically, because of him, he rushed for then a Super Bowl record 166 yards. We also, in 1996, we had Magic Johnson return after a 5-year retirement. He led the Lakers to a win over the Warriors. He had 19 points, 8 boards, and 10 assists. And in 2000, the tackle. The Rams beat the Titans. I was at this game, which ended with the Rams linebacker Mike Jones tackling Kevin Dyson 1 yard short of the goal line. Time expired, and the Super Bowl champion St. Louis Rams. Well, Kurt Warner was in that game.
Yeah, he was the MVP for that game. What a great game that was.
Oh, one more. James Hart historic day on 2018 when he was with the Rockets. He was the first player in NBA history to score 60 points, part of a triple-double performance, 60 points, 10 boards, 11 assists in their win. All right, tomorrow, one of the biggest in-state battles, college hoops, of course. You have a couple storylines here with Wildcats. Number 1 in the country. They're 20-0, sitting atop of all the polls. Unanimous first-place votes.
21-0.
21-0, excuse me. And then Arizona State's not doing as well, but still an up and down season for them. Last time these two teams played, the spread was 21-22.
I remember that.
And of course, that game came down to 7 points with an 89-82 win by the Cats down at McHale in Tucson. Tomorrow, the spread's 15.5 over under 164. If they could play like they did in Tucson, then I think if you're a degenerate gambler like myself, you take that 15.5, which I did. So anyway, but we'll see. That's not what I was teasing earlier. I decided I wanted to kind of look ahead and look at Arizona State when it comes to 2026 football schedule.
Okay.
And if you're an Arizona State fan, you're going to buckle up. This might be the most travel-heavy, unforgiving slate in Big 12 football. Why is it rough? Well, they got a road trip to Texas A&M. 1 week later, they're in London to face Kansas. They got road games at Texas Tech, BYU, UCF, and Arizona. That's miles and time zones and physical games stacked up. Technically 6 Big 12 opponents. Didn't have winning seasons last year, but when it won't matter when you get to Halloween and your legs are gone.
Oh, man.
Right? I mean, that's tough.
What a schedule.
The best scenario would be for them to steal one, BYU or Texas Tech, handle all the business at home, survive the London game against Kansas, they should win that. Worst case scenario is Texas A&M lost, the London hangover, you lose both BYU and Texas Tech, and then you fall in the Territorial Cup. Now, for Arizona, the schedule isn't easy, but it's somewhat more manageable. No back-to-back road games, only 4 Big 12 road trips. They got a mid-season stretch with just 1 game away from Tucson. Arizona State and Utah both at home. BYU and Texas Tech on the road. Got a late season trip to freaking Manhattan. That's a win.
I hope not.
Best scenario, win at BYU early. Stack the wins at home. Enter into November with a margin. And then 3 of their final 4 games are at home. So that matters for them. But if they slip at home, lose some of those road games, then it'll be tough. But the Wildcats path is cleaner, but they still got to protect home field.
The only saving grace for ASU is they got to buy after that London trip. They'll have a chance to come home, rest. They'll have 2 weeks before that next game. But that is a brutal schedule. I mean, that's a brutal schedule.
They have that open date, but then they got Baylor and Hawaii at home.
Yes.
Then they're on the road at Texas Tech. Kansas State's here. At BYU. Colorado's here. At UCF. That's always tough. Oklahoma State's here again.
I just think that you right nowadays, the way the parity is in college football, it looks like ASU did a good job of getting the linemen. They got they have several quarterbacks now and receiving core. But you look at that and you say, well, easier schedule for U of A is they got those 3 home games. Still, you look at the guys that are coming in. There's no slam dunk team in the Big 12 this year to take it all away.
Arizona State needs to try to schedule some easier games. I mean, they got Morgan State. All right. That's really it. Maybe Hawaii when you look at, somewhat non-conference. But for like Arizona, they got Northern Arizona on their schedule. They got Northern Illinois on their schedule. They're at Washington State. So they got some, easier type games, at least on paper.
Yeah, and I think nowadays, the non-conferences have got to be somewhat viable games because of the rankings. So if you're at your rankings, number one, this year, what's going to happen is the Power 4 conference winners are automatic. And then after that, you look at, where are the rankings from that standpoint? So it's like the SEC. They're not going to play 9 conference games. They were kind of forced to play those 9 conference games. So you look at the non-conference games that you got to play, you would hope, if you get an NAU on your schedule, okay, you wash that one out. But, I mean, do you have an SEC team? Do you have a Big Ten team? I think that's going to matter for a lot of these teams moving forward if they want to get into the tournament, so to speak.
That's a little premature to talk about the football season for ASU. But, why not? At least squeeze it in there since you got the rivalry game tomorrow. Hey, the biggest game of the year is, of course, on Sunday. And if you're looking for a place to watch the big game, Backyard Desert Ridge, it always sells out. You can lock in your Super Bowl table now. You can pick a perfect spot in front of their massive LED walls, 50-plus high-def TVs. I would not wait if I were you. I would head over there this weekend, go in person, swing by Backyard's Desert Ridge, and claim your seat now so you can save your seat and have it for next Sunday. Because I know a lot of people are going to be trying to find places to watch the game unless you're going to a house party or you're hosting. But Backyard Desert Ridge is your spot. So lock in your Super Bowl table today.
You happy with Sean Mannion being your new offensive coordinator, Roc?
No.
He played up until 23? He's only been an assistant the last couple of years. That's a big risk to bring that kid in there.
He's going to get blasted by the Philadelphia fan base. They're going to destroy him.
Sirianni better be involved a lot with that offense.
He either has to come out of the gate and they need to be scoring 30 points a game, or the fan base is just going to destroy him. They're already uptight that they went with a guy like that has no experience as an offensive coordinator,
I agree.
quarterbacks coach. It's a great job. You got a great, you got a good line. You got some decent receivers. You got a great quarterback. I mean, you would think that'd be the ideal job for anybody that wants to aspire to be a head coach someday. But then maybe the other way of looking at it is, all right, get the man in, get guy in here. Maybe he'll be there for 2-3 years. So if you look at this Eagles team, They lose their offensive coordinator every year.
Yeah. It's interesting because he was under LaFleur the last couple of years as you mentioned, quarterback coach in Green Bay. And I know he's been playing up until 2023. And I just went, wow, the kid's been an assistant for 2 years. I'm sure he knows the game, but I guess
he's going to get this.
Sirianni was impressed with his strategy, his knowledge, his this, and this. I mean, that's just a big chunk to bite off for a young guy to be the OC right from the get-go. So, and a lot of folks will be watching your Eagles next year. Like, so they get him back in flight, so to speak, from where they were last year.
I hope the kid does well. I hope
sure.
that,
Yeah.
It's
a big risk.
Brings in, the fact that he was recently off the field.
Yeah, literally.
Maybe that helps.
2023.
Maybe that's a different angle. And maybe the Eagles front office. Hey, you can't question the Eagles when it comes to moves they make in personnel. They are always bringing in guys, coaches, players. They do a decent job at that.
Here's what I think. I think Sirianni will be the OC, and I think Emmanuel will be the guy that organizes everybody. And I think they'll collaborate as far as play calling is concerned.
Bring the donuts.
Pretty much let Sirianni, and they give him the title. But I believe Sirianni will be the guy that ultimately calls these plays.
All right, we're at Right Toyota right across the street from 16 at the WM Open. We got an up-and-coming PGA pro, Tommi Avant, will join us. Kevin Rowe will stop by for his contest. We have Sports Professor as well, and much, much more. Coming up in hour number 3, just you're running around doing some stuff. Make sure you tune back in is Kurt Warner at 3 o'clock, and we'll go up to Seattle and catch up with Paul Moyer, Seahawks pre and post game radio host, former Sunday. So a lot to get into. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Right to it. End of the month. It's the time. If you're in the market for a newer pre-owned vehicle, this is when they make their deals better than normal as they're trying to hit numbers. So good luck to you. You're out there trying to buy and do a pre-owned vehicle. Right to it.
Hi, folks. Lorenzo Alexander here. After 15 years playing professional football, I've been through plenty of winning and losing. If you feel like you're losing because of private student loan debt, call my friends at Y Refi. They refinance loans others won't touch and create a payment plan based on what you can afford, even if you're behind or in default. Y Refi can help lower your interest rate and reduce your monthly payment. And they don't care what your credit score is. Call 888-YREFI-85. That's 888-YREFI-85. Or visit YREFI.com.
Not available in all states.
The NCAA Women's Final Four is coming to Phoenix, and the fun starts at Women's Final Four Tourneytown, presented by Capital One. A 4-day celebration, games, contests, giveaways, and special appearances. There's something for every fan, and it's all free inside the Phoenix Convention Center. Join the excitement of the Women's Final Four in downtown Phoenix, April 2nd through 5th. Free events, all ages, all weekend. NCAA.com/Women's Final Four.
For nearly 25 years, Primavera has helped thousands of Arizona students succeed with an accredited world-class education, tuition-free and right from home. If your child struggles in a traditional school setting, Primavera Online can help. We serve Arizona K-12 students with flexible, personalized learning that fits every student's needs. See how Primavera can help your family today. Don't wait. Enroll now at chooseprimavera.com. That's chooseprimavera.com.
Got a stubborn clog slowing things down? Introducing Parker & Son's $89 drain clearing special. If you've got a ground level, easy access drain, Parker & Son's plumbers will clear it for just $89. Plus, you'll get a free camera inspection and free standard water heater maintenance. That's today's clog gone and future problems prevented. Call Parker & Sons at 602-2-REPAIR. That's 602, 2, then REPAIR for Parker & Sons. Standard water heaters only. No tankless.
Now open in North Scottsdale. It's the Orangedale Lounge. ODs. Right off Thompson Peak and Bell. Next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club. A one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills. Just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at OrangeDaleLounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink up.
Another Arizona storm season's rolling through. Before the next big downpour hits, call State 48 Roofing for your free roof inspection. Whether it's cracked tiles, flat roofs, or old shingles, don't wait for leaks to show up. State 48 Roofing is Arizona's #1 referred roofer. Trusted for over a decade in both residential and commercial roofing. Protect your home, protect your business with State 48 Roofing. Visit state48roofing.com or call 480-268-4509 today.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports, is ESPN 620. It's Friday, and the guys are live from Wright Toyota. Right on the corner, right on the price. Wright Toyota, located at 77th Street and Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale. Now back to the guys on ESPN 620.
All right, next week we will be broadcasting live Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at DraftKings TPC Scottsdale, which is a driver, 3-wood, 5-iron, 8-iron, wedge putter from here.
I'd say as the crow flies, if I take the shortcut, if I cut the corner.
But for our next guest, probably just driver wedge. Joining us next, he rolled in a 47-foot birdie putt on the 54th hole to capture the 68 Southwest PGA Championship. And what that meant, he is playing in the WM Open next week. He got the exemption, and he is joining us now, Tommi Avant. Tommi, Roc and Manuch, man, what's going on, man? Congratulations.
Roc Manuch, thanks for having me. Beautiful Friday here at the Lone Tree Golf Club, and just thank you for the call. Appreciate the opportunity.
We appreciate it. I mean, this is a great story when we found out about it, and we find out that your dad also won the section championship many years ago, and here you are. You get qualified for the WM Open too, and it's tell us how this all went down, and how long have you been trying to prepare for an opportunity like this? Because I know you've been in the industry for so long as a PGA professional.
Yes, I after college, 2019, joined the PGA of America. Got my first job at a club out in New Jersey. Hung out there for 3 years. Finished my Class A in 2023. So last September was my third section championship of the Southwest PGA. In 2024, I finished second to the great pro Jesse Mueller with a little bit of a gut punch to not block my ticket to the WM. But we had a great email about a month before last September saying, hey, we got the spot back because we thought 2024, that was it. And after being 5 down through 3 holes of the final round, I said, well, if somebody told you at the beginning of the week you had an opportunity just to qualify for Bandon, you would take it. And it's golf. Sometimes the chips fall your way, and maybe it was just a little bit of a blessing after the second place finish last year. The 47-footer was certainly a very good feeling, and walking off that green, seeing my dad shedding a tear. He doesn't cry a whole lot, but it was something special.
I love that. Tommi, so explain how this all kind of goes and how it works. So you get to play the WM Open, and let's just say you have really good success. Okay, you make the cut, and you're playing on Sunday. How would that change your career path now? Or would it at all?
Well, I like to be where my feet are. I just think it's a fantastic opportunity. I do try to keep it in perspective, but as my coach always says, you got to be where your feet are, and one day at a time. I'm just ready to soak in the entire week. And as a friend of mine, Larry Barber, who played on PGA Tour, you walk on that first tee, you walk on that first fairway with your chest out, and whether if you shoot 65 or 85, just know you're in the field and you got a tee time. That's something special.
Tommi, how many have you played like the TPC since it's 225 times just to know the course? I say facetiously. How often have you been playing the TPC to get yourself ready for this special week?
Well, long story short, had a little bit of an injury after the Southwest Section Championship, so took a little time off, but we're fully healed, feeling great. So I've probably been out there courtesy of Matt Williams, director of golf there at TPC Scottsdale. I've been out there 3 or 4 times. Coach flew into town, did a little bit of practice, but we have a section event usually there every summer with no grandstands, and it feels pretty easy, feels pretty wide open, but after the first practice round with about 7 inches of rough, it's a little bit of a different feeling. A little bit of stands, something different spots to look at. I just thought, okay, let's bring it on. Let's test it out. We have a shot here, and why not give it a chance?
Tommy,
but
talk about that.
It's been a very good practice session.
Talk about that, Rough. I played it 2 weeks ago on the media day, and I just thought it was a little higher than normal. Not that I'm a stick, but even the average person would know that rough is pretty high, and it's probably even higher than it was 2-3 weeks ago. We did get some rain a few weeks ago, but what would you compare it to if you had to compare it? I mean, everybody talks about Torrey Pines and some other courses, but where would you kind of put this course when it comes to the playability with the rough?
I think it has a mixture of desert golf, East Coast where I played. I actually sent a video to my caddy that just got back into town, Lewis Kelly, and about 7 paces off 9 fairway. It was about 7 inches deep. And we were like, well, I didn't know the U.S. Open started in February. So we kind of just put it in our books already. Hey, fairways are premium. It's going to be long. They're turning off the water today. I know they're getting it all ready for all the pros to come in. And I'm sure it's going to firm up overnight. But I just think what the course offers, it's a mixture of desert, tight, kind of East Coast vibes. I feel very comfortable over it, and it's nice to call it a home game representing the local Arizona kid. The 13-year-old in me would be shocked, but I always thought I'm going to be a tour player. I don't know when that timeline will be, but that's why we put it in the ground. We put our nose to the grindstone, and with my opportunity here at Lone Tree and where I was at in the East Coast, just to continue working on my game and continue to compete and learn from all these local pros, Marty Jerkson, Jesse Mueller, Charlie Belgian. It really means a lot, and I couldn't do it without my team that surrounds me, my new fiance, my boss, my agent, my father, as a three-headed monster that he is. It's just going to be an opportunity that will be remembered for a long time.
Tommi Avant joining us here, Roc Manuch here on ESPN Radio Phoenix. We're actually broadcasting right across the street at Right Toyota from 16 at the WM Open. As Tommy's going to be hitting it out there next week. So walk us through, if you don't mind, your schedule starting Monday. How does kind of take us behind the scenes of a professional golfer the week of WM Open?
What's actually cool is I'm fortunate enough, it's going to start tomorrow, and we're going to go out there. I get my courtesy car, which is going to be a very cool experience. But we're going to play 9 tomorrow, just kind of be first on the golf course. The only event that I did want to go to, thank you to the Thunderbirds, is the concert in the Coliseum.
Yeah,
big Killers fan, big rock fan. So we may have some fun Saturday night. But, I think once we hit the ground running Sunday, it's straight business. Pro-Am playing Monday morning, and we'll see Tuesday. I have a couple buddies that are currently on tour playing actually pretty good on the Farmers. Max DeGreevy with a nice start on the South Course, and a good friend, another local kid, Matt McCarty. So looking at a practice round Tuesday. Unfortunately, somehow I did not get the call, shockingly enough, to get the Wednesday Pro-Am. I guess only one tour start on the Canadian tour doesn't qualify for you for Wednesday, but beggars can't be choosers.
Sure.
But we're going to hit some balls. We're going to see some friends on Wednesday, and we'll see what Thursday and Friday bring. I know a couple of my buddies are asking for the Bird's Nest tickets that I get, and I say, hey, you guys go have fun. I forget that I got to play on Thursday and Friday sometimes. But, no, I'm just really excited for every day. I think family, a lot of family from Minnesota is coming in town, college teammates flying in, high school teammates. It just feels like a reunion that couldn't happen without my dad, Lone Tree, my college, and it's a pretty cool feeling to know that out of your college teammates, and I love them all. But I was the only one that continued golfing, and one of my best buddies said, well, I'll just wait the call when you're on a tour event, and I'm gonna hit you up for everything. So
there you go.
We're just gonna make sure those dreams come true. This starting tomorrow, actually.
So last question here for you, Tommy. Again, best of luck to you. What's going to be the main focus for you? What's that main? You said top business. What's the main focus for one Tommy Avant?
My coach put it in a very good term. Is you got to think about what the co-players, the players that are in your group see out of you. What are the people that are following see out of you? I just think it's such an opportunity that is bigger than myself, and I really, really want to make sure that I don't want to rush this week. I want to make sure that I'm going through my process. I'm committed to every shot because it's going to be a heck of a week. I wouldn't want it to end. So as my dad likes to say, if there's a slow group or anything, where you got to go. You don't have to be at work. You don't got to be behind the desk. Just be where your feet are and enjoy the walk. So a win is just getting there. But my good friend said you have nothing to lose. You have everything to gain, and who knows what it can turn into. So we're excited for the opportunity. Game feels good. Body feels amazing. And let's get it on.
You got it. Tommy, thanks for jumping on. Congratulations getting there, and enjoy the ride, and hopefully we'll get a chance to catch up with you next week and talk about this experience. So thanks so much for the time today.
Roc, Manuch, you guys are awesome. Thank you once again. Looking forward to speaking to you soon.
You got it. Tommy Avant, again, getting ready for the WM Open. A good story there. How cool is that? Local guy qualifying by winning the Southwest PGA Championship, and did it at Moon Valley. Great golf course as well. And of course, a lot of people that golf that Lone Tree, you probably know Tommy Avant. He's one of the PGA assistant pros there. So good stuff there. Good story.
Thank you. Another stud out of Hamilton High School there in the
he's a Hamilton guy?
He's a Hamilton guy. Yeah.
Oh, he's from Minnesota.
Yeah, you got Bellinger, Shuck. You got you got a lot of these pros are coming out. And what a story's right. He rolls in a 47-footer, and he talked about his East Coast swing with the Southwest PGA Tour. And some of the things you just got to deal with. It's just golf's just that funny. So he was down by 5. Comes in there, rolls in that 47-footer, last part of the day, and qualifies for the WM Open. I mean, it's great to see. And
I'm nervous for him.
I am too.
I mean, I've literally got a pit in my stomach saying, man, I couldn't handle all that.
Oh, my.
And he's just get out of that first hole, put your tee in, chest out. Who are you kidding?
The advice his dad Greg's giving, buddy. Well, just be where your feet are.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's easier said than done.
Can you imagine?
Your stomach's churning.
All right, we need one caller right now to challenge the counselor, Kevin Rowe. We only got one more week of doing this.
Yeah, that's right.
As our Lerner Rowe prize pack for the football season. So we're going to mix it up a little bit this week. But first caller at 602-230-0620, 230-0620, take a shot. Basically, we're going to do some NBA. Total amount of points scored in tonight's Suns-Cleveland game will be over under 223. Total amount of points combined, Cavs, Donovan Mitchell, and Dylan Brooks will be over under 53. Amount of turnovers combined in Pistons Warriors. Why would you just do Cavs Suns?
Because the Pistons just played here to take on the Warriors, and they might be a little tired.
We're going to get rid of
that. Mix it up a little bit. It's going to be a good game.
All right, but either way, amount of turnovers combined in the Pistons Warriors game. I don't know. Manuch set it at over under 27, and then winner score of the ASU game, which is tomorrow. So, caller number 1. Yeah, we just trying to be nice to
be it easy. Yeah, make it easy.
602-230-0620. This is Roc Manuch from Jimmy Phoenix. We're on FM at 98.7 HD2 and always on the Arizona Sports.
When it comes to sushi, reputation matters, and Sushi Brokers Arcadia has built theirs on being the best sushi in Arizona. From traditional rolls to bold fusion creations, like our crowd favorite, Seafood Dynamite, and the must-try sushi pizza. We've got something for everyone. Our famous happy hour is every day from 3 to 6:30 with fresh favorites like the California roll, spicy tuna roll, and the surf and turf roll topped with seared steak. Sushi Brokers Arcadia, 44th Street and Indian School.
Another Arizona storm season's rolling through. Before the next big downpour hits, call State 48 Roofing for your free roof inspection. Whether it's cracked tiles, flat roofs, or old shingles, don't wait for leaks to show up. State 48 Roofing is Arizona's #1 referred roofer, trusted for over a decade in both residential and commercial roofing. Protect your home, protect your business with State 48 Roofing. Visit state48roofing.com or call 480-268-4509 today.
I was in a wreck. I need a check. I was in a wreck. I need a check. I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Kevin Rowe from Lerner and Rowe, and we've been serving Arizonans for 20 years. Make the best choice after an accident. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Rock for RightToyota.com. At Right Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all their innovative web tools on RightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at RightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at RightToyota.com.
Now open in North Scottsdale. It's the Orangedale Lounge. ODs. Right off Thompson Peak and Bell, next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club, a one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills, just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at orangedalelounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink up.
On February 21st, the Arizona Cardinals Foundation will host the first ever Cardinals Climb. State Farm Stadium will transform into a mountain-like experience with trail-inspired routes for all ages and abilities, raising funds for 4 organizations benefiting Arizona's special needs community. Barrow Neurological Foundation, SARC, Special Olympics Arizona, and Treasure House. Registration is open now at cardinalsclimb.com. Help us make a difference, because together we climb higher.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward. Time to challenge the defendant. Attorney Kevin Rowe from Arizona's full-service law firm Lerner and Rowe. Need a wreck and need a check? Just call Lerner and Rowe at 602-977-1900. At Lerner and Rowe, no fees unless you win. Now, Counselor Kevin Rowe on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
All right, joins us on the Right to the guest line, Kevin Rowe. What's up there, Counselor? How you doing today?
Roc, good to hear from you, buddy. Happy Friday. You ready for a big weekend?
Yes, I'm fortunate enough tonight because a very close friend of mine has plans. He can't use the Suns tickets, so I'm going to a Suns game tonight in luxury.
Wow,
So,
look at you.
Yeah, so
You're very, very,
Wow,
very
where are those
blessed.
tickets at, bud? Where are they at?
Row 1, seat 1.
Wow.
Yes.
You must have some very influential friends.
Doesn't matter what you know, who you know, Manuch. That's true, right? Right, Kevin?
Manuch.
Yeah.
I know, Manuch, but I just want to help you out. Row 1 is really like row 6. Row A, seat 1, is actually feet on floor. Now, are you row 1, Roc, or are you row A, Roc?
A. I don't know how this works. Yes. Sorry I didn't sell it well enough there, Kevin. Yes.
That's
I know exactly where they are. Exactly.
Hey, Kevin, they've got ushers that'll help him out if needed.
Oh, no, I'll be fine. I bought some new sneaks today in case I get on TV.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I had to buy some new
We'll
sneaks.
be looking for you tonight, Rob.
Yeah, some K-Swiss. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Ready to go. Yeah.
That's
How about
funny,
the
Rob.
shoes, right?
The last time obviously there are tickets. So I don't go to the game very often. So it's awesome. It's great that you're able to go. And aren't you celebrating something big with your girlfriend as well, too? Isn't it her birthday or something?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's more about her, right?
That's the right answer. Correct answer.
I'll tell you this. I went 2 weeks ago or something, and they were giving away, or I shouldn't say giving away, but they were showing, and you're able to buy the Book 2 Nike shoes. And they had a big setup out there with the Booker, what they call Book 2. So, of course, I had to purchase a pair, and I'm not even a big Nike fan, but I purchased a pair.
Whoa. Time out, counselor. Let me get the gavel. No, not a big Nike fan. If I'm not mistaken, all the golf tournaments we did for many years, it had to be Nike or nothing.
That is correct. You are absolutely right. This is our 13th year. So years 1 through 6, 7, yes. Nike changed the direction on how they feel about things outside of making shoes. So it did not coincide with the beliefs of overall people. So I decided to not go with Nike anymore. But since Booker, he's a little poor. He doesn't have a lot of money. So I figured I had to buy his shoes to give him a couple bucks.
Yeah, help him out. Well, in honor of the Suns, we are going to do all NBA and college basketball today for our over-under contest. Patrick and Mason is mixed in. So I don't know how you are with this, but I know you're a Suns fan. I know you're also another team that you like where you grew up, but we're not going to talk about them. So we're going to do Suns and Cavs tonight, and then for some reason, Manuch want to do a Pistons Warriors. So if you don't know that one, we can skip it.
I want to expect. Hey, don't give him credit. He is very knowledgeable in the NBA, so don't cut him short.
He should when he's got
knowledge.
1 and 2. All right, let's go. The total amount of points scored in tonight's Suns-Cavs game will be over under 223 points. Over under 223 points.
First, I feel a little disrespected, like I wouldn't know my stuff for NBA. I mean, I'm a sports fan.
I already put the tickets in my wallet. You can't get it back.
I'm going on Sunday night, I guess. I haven't given those out, so we're talking about going on Sunday night. But
sixth caller at 602-230.
Yeah, hey, I think we need help for next year, man, because our ticket prices went up 22% from this year to next year. Wow. It's insane. Okay, I digress. Let's talk about this now. Over under 223.5. Well, is Book playing? I think he's still out, right?
He's out.
Yeah,
Jalen Green is in.
Jalen Green is in.
Interesting. And then Dylan putting up some big numbers last night too, huh? He's hilarious. Yep, Rock. Well, just watch him all night, man. Dylan Brooks is fantastic. His facial expressions, him yelling at refs the whole time, him getting other players frustrated and mad, it's fantastic. But here's what I'm going to say. Yes, they can averages, they can easily go over, but they're played back to back. Give me some tired. Book's not playing. I'm going to take the under in this one.
All right, what's Patrick going with?
He also took the under in this one.
Okay.
All right, Counselor. The total amount of points combined by the Cavs, Donovan Mitchell, and the Suns, Dylan Brooks, will be over under 53 points. Over under 53 points between Mitchell and Dylan Brooks. What do you got?
Yeah, I got to tell you, he's. I'm not a huge fan of him when he was on other teams, but you definitely become a fan of Dylan Brooks as being his son. And so I just mentioned he had 40 points last night, and he's been hot. He's definitely been hot. So this is one of those things. Obviously, Mitchell he's averaging almost 30 points a game. I'm going to take the over. I'm going to take the over this one. I think you're going to see with Booker out, Dylan likes coming on. He likes shooting the ball.
Okay. What's Patrick got there, Connor?
Yeah, Patrick also took the over on this one.
All right, this one I don't know why it made the cut, but amount of turnovers combined in tonight's Pistons-Warriors game will be over under 27. Over under 27. Break down this game, Counselor.
Yeah, this is interesting. This is an interesting pick. Look, I assume why the great Manuch went ahead and picked this is because he was just bored. Here's what I'm going to put.
At 1:30.
Either the Warriors and yet Pistons coming off a back-to-back after the Suns waxed them. So I'm thinking a lot of turnovers. Warriors got to win. I mean, just a little something so you can get Slider to right field.
Both these teams, Manuch, have lots of turnovers. Neither one of them are real ball security, and they're both basically high tempo. So I think you're going to see a lot of turnovers. I'm going to go with the over.
You go the over or the under?
Over.
Okay. See,
All right.
He's very educated.
All right. And then Patrick?
He took the under.
Okay.
All right. Last but not least, the winner and score of the ASU U of A game tomorrow at noon. Winner and score.
Wow, man. ASU is just killing it this year. They have such a great season, Don. Here's what I'm going to look at. Here's what I'm going to look at. Obviously, number one ranked Arizona coming in from Tempe, 21-0, 8-0 in Big 12. They're tied for the best streak in program history. So, I got to go with U of A. I know Coach Hurley. I hope Coach Hurley still has the job in 6 months. Arizona's just not playing that great. So I'm going ASU ain't playing that great. So I'm going to go Arizona 87, ASU 72. 87-72.
All right.
Pretty much in line exactly what the spread is.
And then, Connor, what's Patrick got?
15.5.
Patrick looked like a Cats fan. He ended up taking U of A 90-69.
Ooh. There you go.
Oh, man. Well, Kev, again, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. You and AI, you have a good weekend, and we will catch you next week.
Rock, I'll be expecting my tickets dropped off. I'm not enjoying this anymore with you. Manuch, I'd love to do a show with you and Jimmy B.
Yes.
I'm done with it.
All right, I'll send him over.
We don't ever disrespect the knowledge of one Kevin Rowe.
Oh, good stuff. Thank
Have
you
a great
so
weekend,
much.
buddy.
I appreciate that, Manuch. All right, you two guys. Take care.
See ya. That's Kevin Rowe, Lerner Rowe. If you've been injured in an accident, don't try to hit. Lerner Rowe has been Arizona's best personal injury law firm year after year after year after year. Of course, Interact Data Check. One call, that's all. 602-977. Always at lernerandrowe.com. All right, from record Super Bowl betting to ESPN's corporate flex, Rick Horrow explains where the real money is moving. But first, here's your local ESPN Radio 620 Sports Update with Con.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Connor Collins. The Phoenix Suns beat the Detroit Pistons 114-96 last night behind 40 points from Dillon Brooks and 24 out of Grayson Allen as Phoenix improves to 29-19, and they've done it without Devin Booker and Jalen Green, although Green is expected to return tonight. In MLB news, the Arizona Diamondbacks and reliever Garrett Law reached an agreement on a minor league contract for the spring training invite as Arizona adds bullpen depth. And in the NFL, the Arizona Cardinals continue their head coaching searches. They're set to meet with Seattle's offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak this Saturday in Seattle. The weekend is better at Twin Peaks, and nobody does sports like Twin Peaks. Nobody. Catch the action at any of the 5 Valley locations. Enjoy all-day specials on ice-cold draft beers, buckets, and specialty cocktails. Pair it with scratch-made bites that actually satisfy, and you've got your ultimate game day experience. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views. Rick Horrow knows the guys next.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing.
where your future is always moving forward. Phoenix, it's the biggest week in golf, and we're right in the middle of it. Join Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B live from DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale for the WM Open. Monday through Wednesday, February 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Special guests, giveaways, wall-to-wall WM Open energy, and the best atmosphere in golf before the madness even starts. Grab a seat, grab a drink, and be part of the action. Or listen live on ESPN 620. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Live at DraftKings TPC Scottsdale. WM Open Week. Don't miss it. Game on Peoria. When it's time to eat big, drink cold, and watch every play, make it Big's American Bar and Grill in the P83 district. Big's is serving up huge portions of your favorites. Burgers, wings, nachos, plus a full bar and TVs everywhere you look. And don't miss happy hour Monday through Thursday, 3 to 6:30 p.m. with $2 off well drinks and $2 off domestic drafts, plus daily specials all week long. Bring your friends, grab a seat on the patio, and settle in for the game. Big's American Bar and Grill, where Peoria comes to play, eat, and watch.
Kids across America are going to school hungry. Millions of kids every day. But one simple thing can help change all of this for a hungry child in America. Good, healthy food and the energy it brings. With help from caring people across America, No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures. To learn more about ending child hunger in America, go to helpnokidhungry.org today.
Cats are masters at using up their 9 lives, like chasing laser pointers into walls or jumping onto high shelves. But the one thing cats never do, text while driving. So be like a cat and protect your one and only life. Don't text and drive.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Time to talk about the business side of sports. Leading expert in the business of sports, author of the new bestseller, The Sport Business Handbook, host of Power of Sports, and architect of over 100 deals worth billions in sports, the sports professor Rick Horrow joins Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
All right, Rick Horrow joins us on a Friday. I can only imagine where Rick could be on a Friday. I suspect a golf course, don't you?
Or the back patio.
Oh, yeah.
Look
Hanging
at the
out
water.
with Duke. Hanging out with Duke.
Yeah, Duke or Ricky Fowler if he's not playing over at Torrey Pines.
Hanging out over there at Jupiter, Florida. So what is Rick Horrow doing this afternoon in Florida?
You're both right. Golf course and then back patio. So, but the tomorrow will be Tampa to play Concession Golf Course, and then the NHL Winter Stadium Series, which I know you guys don't care about hockey anymore, but it's at Raymond James Stadium, and that's going to be, I know. And then that's Sunday night, and then fly from Tampa to San Francisco. There's a little game there that I'll spend a week getting ready for. And then driving down to L.A. the week after. And, oh, by the way, what's halfway between San Francisco and L.A.? You got it, Pebble Beach. Guess what's there? Guess who's going to be watching the AT&T? That'll be kind of fun that week, too. So that was you are? Are you going to go?
No, I'm watching it. Well, I just like I was in Miami. I'll see you there. Just like I was at the Ryder Cup in Italy. You were there and I was there and I didn't get to see you. So I have a better shot of, I don't know, being in Detroit and seeing you there. Or, I don't know.
The Ryder Cup, it was a chance. 25 million people in the Rome metropolitan area. You were there. I was there. I knew how to avoid you. All I needed to do for the college national championship was to stay in one place because, as I understand it, you didn't sniff anywhere near the stadium until halfway through the game.
That was a little bit exaggeration. To be totally honest with you, I was in there before the president got there. I was in my seat before the game started many hours before. So I was amazed. I will say I was very impressed by Hard Rock. I thought it was a really cool stadium. They did such a remarkable job for when it was Joe Robbie. I mean, what kind of money was put into that for an upgrade, like the suites and everything? What did they put into that?
Yeah, the overall investment number that we keep seeing is over $2 billion. And I get it because it's not just the seats. It's getting ready for the auto race, getting ready for the tennis tournament, getting ready for other things that they're having. You know, World Cup is a big expense. They'll have 7 games there. They'll also have the national championship again, rotating into 2030. Miami is already having the top recruiting class. So they're back. Best team money can buy. Here we go. Mensa, $8 million. That's great. Why not? And yeah. Well, no,
What about the?
you better have a good question. What
It is because as I was departing, it was beautiful. Got to see the soccer stadium that they're building. What that thing looks massive.
Yeah, it's Freedom Park, which is next to Miami International Airport, and it's FC Miami. It's the house that Messi built, although Messi made the commitment after the funding was there. And I will tell you, and you know my history about getting involved in building facilities, and the first one ever for me was the Heat. This one was so ill-fated that you never knew whether it was really going to happen, even after the funding was approved. And now it'll be opening in April, and I can't wait. It's going to be a beautiful 100-some-acre celebration of soccer, basically just in time for the World Cup.
So speaking of stadiums, you talked about your newsletter here in reference to the supposed new Chiefs Stadium on the Kansas side. Proposed $3 billion, $2.7 billion from the, I guess, for the bonding is concerned on that. Number one, has the mayor signed off on that, but is there some hesitation still? Is it with the bonding, Rick, that this thing has still got to get signed off and approved? Where does a lot of Chiefs fans are like, where are we or aren't we going to have a new stadium by 2031 on the Kansas side?
Yeah, there is a high school field, not really bleachers, about halfway between. And what I think they're going to do, especially if the Chiefs continue to tumble on the field like they do, the 500 people in Kansas who care will go watch the game standing up. Oh, that's
spread the field, right?
All right.
Yeah.
Let me give you the answer. Let me give you the real answer. And I know this better than almost anybody alive because one of my early deals with NASCAR, remember before kind of helped with Phoenix and Jeff Sperber and PIR, was to do some of the same stuff in other cities in the United States with NASCAR, including Kansas Speedway, which was a fight between Missouri and Kansas, creating star bonds, which is revenue from the track generated to fund the facility. And it played Missouri against Kansas, and Kansas won it. That's exactly the same model that the Chiefs used to get their facility done. Now, the money is committed from the state. The question is, does the county have enough commitment to back the bonds as their percentage, with the state contributing X and Wyandotte County Y? The issue right now is what is the X and what is the Y. It's not that the deal is done or off. It's just the details have got to be finished.
And on top of that, it was like the Royal Stadium, the commitment from the state of Missouri is to keep the Royals on that side of the river?
Yeah, and it's right. It's kind of interesting. If there's a conversation about building a complex, kind of like the Truman Sports Complex, but over in Kansas, where you have both of them together. Again, the mayor of Kansas City, Missouri, really wants not to lose face with two teams. So the idea is build a downtown stadium, make sure it's financially viable, and that's where the Royals go. And candidly, when you look at the economic impact, the baseball stadium economics more favor downtowns than otherwise because, you have 80 games a year and people from downtown, mostly the Royals fans, even though it's a pretty regional franchise, mostly come from a closer radius than Chiefs fans. So that is probably going to be the way it's going to happen. But with politicians, you never, ever, 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 never, never, ever know.
Rick Horrow joining us here, Roc and Manuch, ESPN Radio Phoenix. Rick, the American Gaming Association is projecting $1.76 billion in legal Super Bowl betting, which is 27% up from last year. At what point does betting stop being like a side business and it becomes like the core pillar for the NFL and their economic model and how they're doing business? Because this is just stupid how much money it's.
Yeah, it'll never dominate, but it'll always now be a much bigger deal. Remember, the NFL has had 7 partners in this. This is from the same organization who a decade ago lobbied against gambling, saying we can't protect the integrity of the league. So, they've come a long way, and everybody else has come a long way. Now, every day you pick up the paper and there are new gambling scandals. Well, are you going to limit prop bets? Hopefully, but the Super Bowl is the poster child for prop bets. How long is the national anthem going to be? Who wins, heads or tails, et cetera, et cetera. So you got that issue, and then you got the issue of the athletes themselves, especially in college, being able to bet on the game. So you want to make sure that doesn't happen either.
Rick, we don't talk about the sport much, but some people like it, and we have a team here, but the WNBA is nearing a potential strike over the revenue sharing. I think I saw something like players demanding 30% of the league revenue. Do you think this is going to get any play? I mean, I know ESPN will push it as much as they can, but will other sports outlets really even touch this?
Yeah, well, your question. You don't like women's sports now? What's wrong with you?
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I just don't watch it. I don't watch it.
All right. Well, thank God. God bless you for the sake of all of your partners, including the soon-to-win Pulitzer Jimmy B, that we need to make sure that the sports are not limited only to the stuff that you watch, because this would be a damn boring show. Anyway, that's enough from me. The women's sports world is growing by leaps and bounds. The WNBA players want to get a big piece of it. The WNBA owners are saying we need to toe the line. Unfortunately, the game of chicken that's being played is at the time where the TV contract, which will be huge, will kick in next year. So we got until May 8th. It's a 44-game schedule, and they better get their act together.
Well, getting act together, and on top of that, the interest on top of that, that's it, because the numbers of Caitlin Clark's not playing, are the numbers going to continue to rise, or when she's not playing, wane, and how do they try to figure that out strategically?
It's a very interesting question, because I do a few of these, right? Not as many as I used to, because you are my top priority, and I don't want to do many that dilute my excitement and emotion about being with you. That's clear. But, yeah, right. Listen, you're dripping with cynicism, my friend.
Yes.
The bottom line is I did 5 or 6 of them today, and many people were, using that cue and saying, hey, when Caitlin Clark's not playing, or Angel Reese, the upper deck is cordoned off. You can't sit up there. There's nobody up there.
It's empty.
So it is universal. Yeah, it is universal. And by the way, if that doesn't, if that's not going to be a major problem in the future, because it's only going to get worse, they better come together, not have the big story be labor unrest, and then focus on the positive stuff and get swept up in the wave that is all women's sports. You're right.
Have fun in Tampa. And as always, thanks for moving your schedule around to join us this week, buddy. We always appreciate it. And I'm sure you're going to have a blast.
I'm going to be very quick on this one. Because I know we got to get out. But one of the things that's interesting with Bettman and the NBA is that everybody's talking about how important it is to preserve the integrity of the weather for these Winter Classics. And this game on Sunday night, watch very carefully if you're watching, is at Raymond James. Yet, the normal temperature on Sunday morning, I know because I got a time at concession at 8:10, 22 degrees, wind chill 7. It's Tampa. Are you nuts? What are you, crazy? Are you nuts? See you next week.
Oh, wow. Good stuff. That's Rick Horrow. Follow him at Rick Horrow on all the media platforms. The sports professor. Appreciate that. It's easy just said down the line that it's the coldest day in the history of Tampa.
Talk about trying to go out and play that morning. Frost-a-thon. Ice-a-thon.
All right, let's go back real quick. I know we're up against it, but this whole WNBA thing, it sucks because I think there's some people like myself and others that would love to really give their opinion about it.
Yeah.
But no matter what that opinion is, it's going to come across wrong. But here, because I personally think there is a part of me that says, all right, they have every right to demand 30%.
They sure do.
But just be careful what you wish for, because people still aren't watching it.
Yeah.
Okay. They're going to have this big TV contract. Great. But if no one's tuning in, the advertisers are going to start stepping out and saying, all right, Yeah, there's only one Caitlin Clark.
Yes.
The NBA's already bringing her on Sundays now.
Yes.
So she's going to be like one of the hosts.
Well, as he said, you're the fifth person today that asked me the same exact thing about, well, if she's not playing, what difference does it make anyway? If she plays, you have people might peek. I go, okay, who's this Reese gal? Who's this Caitlin Clark? But if they're not playing, quite frankly, folks go, well, I'm not interested. But those two interest me, and leave it at that. So what's the strategy if they're not playing? Where's that money going to come from?
Do a 3-on-3 or something. Rick, by the way, is powered by Wright Toyota. The right price, the right selection, always the right dealership. Located right here in Scottsdale on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, right across from the WMO bin and PBC Scottsdale. Wright Toyota has the right deal for everyone. Check out the full inventory of pre-owned certified vehicles under 15 grand. It is the end of the month, and that is always a big day. As they're all hands on deck here to finish out the month strong. All right, new coaches, old alliances. Got one big gamble at quarterback. We'll break down some moves that are shaping the National Football League next. This is Roc and Manuch, GBB on ESPN Radio Phoenix. We're on FM as well at 98.7 HD2 and on the Arizona Sports App.
Swing into Van's Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf to get custom fit for the new Ping G440K driver. It's the new standard and straight with dual carbon fly wrap and a faster face. It's Ping's highest MOI most forgiving driver ever. Check out Ping's new G440K drivers. Book your custom fitting in-store or online. Van's Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Trusted by golfers since 1963 and home to the legendary 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee. Get there.
Life's a sprint, and you need a quick pick-me-up. Meet G2G protein bars, the ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether you're hustling in the office, enjoying a day on the links, or conquering the daily grind, G2G is your perfect fuel. Score an 8-pack at your local Costco's refrigerated section, or explore amazing flavors at G2GBar.com. Quick, delicious, and power-packed. G2G protein bars, setting the pace for your energetic lifestyle.
When tragedy strikes, the impact is immediate and devastating. That's when the 100 Club of Arizona steps in, providing financial assistance, guidance, and emotional support to the families of public safety officers injured or killed in the line of duty. They also invest in mental health resources, injury prevention, and scholarships for the children of first responders. Every day, Arizona's public safety professionals put their lives on the line. The 100 Club of Arizona has their back. Learn more at 100club.org.
Hey, it's Kevin Rowe from Lerner and Rowe, trusted across Arizona for helping injured people after serious car wrecks.
And I'm Sean Forrester, managing attorney at Lerner and Rowe Law Group. We may sound alike, but Lerner and Rowe Law Group is a completely separate firm focused solely on criminal defense. We handle serious felonies, DUIs, and misdemeanors with decades of courtroom experience. If you're facing criminal charges, don't wait. Call Lerner and Rowe Law Group now at 602-977-1900.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Nobody does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Nobody. Whatever you're craving, we got it. Tequila cocktails, premium bourbon pours, and top shelf spirits served over ice balls that hit just right. Local craft beers and handcrafted whiskey cocktails, yep, all here. And with 5 Valley locations. And don't forget the teeth-chattering 29-degree drafts we're famous for. Pair it all with scratch kitchen bites that actually satisfy. From shareables to hearty favorites. When it comes to happy hour, Twin Peaks doesn't play. Twin Peaks eats, drinks, scenic views.
Before you fly, take a trip to your local MVD office or authorized third-party provider with your required documents and get the new AZ Travel ID with the Gold Star for your new driver's license or ID. Starting May 2025, this new AZ Travel ID gets you through TSA security checkpoints. It's quick and easy. Think of it as your license to fly. Learn how to get your new ID at aztravelid.com. Sponsored by ADOT in partnership with the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
It's Friday, and the guys are live from Wright Toyota. Right on the corner, right on the price. Wright Toyota, located at 77th Street and Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale. Now back to the guys on ESPN 620.
All right, hope you have a good Friday afternoon. Some of this you may have seen, but the Falcons hired Ian Cunningham as their general manager. He comes over after 4 years as the assistant in Chicago. Bills, of course, Joe Brady is on board. They moved him up, and they brought in
Peterson.
Pete Carmichael Jr.
Carmichael.
Who
No.
unite with him, who
Yeah.
again worked under Sean Payton back in the day.
Very good move there.
Yeah, but
Excellent move.
14 years he was with the Saints. That's a long time as an OC.
He was that guy that was right there off the side of Sean Payton most of the time. But yeah, that's a good move. I think Brady wants to instill a lot of the same things, kind of the Drew Brees, offense that they had for so many.
Steelers are starting to get their guys in. Patrick Graham is their new defensive coordinator. They pulled him away from the Raiders, who reunite with head coach Mike McCarthy. They work together in Green Bay. Jason Simmons, former Commanders defensive pass coordinator, also joins the staff. So he's starting to prioritize his familiar voice in there.
A lot of the old guard for a lot of these coaches kind of follow each other around. And that's why when you have 100 assistants that need to be hired or shuffled around, and you're the last of the Mohicans, either the Raiders or the Cardinals, it's going to be tough to find excellent qualified guys unless you can poach them away from another team. But you got to give them a raise. You got to give them a title raise on top of it.
Mike Fire, their GM. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name.
Jose Adolfo Mensa.
There you go.
Yeah, that's
Bless you. Yeah, so they fired him.
It's interesting. You look
Never
at
even heard of him.
well, he's been there for several years.
I know.
He's been a guy, but
don't
they were
follow the front office of the Vikings.
They were saying earlier that there's like front office tension, and I think a lot of it doesn't really describe if it was Coach O'Connell, the assistant GM, the owner, the Wills owner, the son and father, that there was tension. I'm like, what kind of tension or odds could be in a front office? Is it players? Is it salary? Is it trades? Where is it? And I know the one thing which I've heard from several people in the Minnesota area, it wasn't popular that they did not re-sign Sam Darnold. There were a lot of people who wanted to keep him, but it was pretty much, well, we can do it with the kid, the McCarthy kid, that he played so well preseason the year before, he was out with the injury, that he's going to come back and do just as well. Well, guess what? It blew up. So that whole thing with the Wilts ownership, the son and the father, kind of backfired on him, and they put the blame on Mensa why that all happened.
Bengals quarterback Joe Flacco was named the AFC quarterback today of the Pro Bowl. Believe it or not, it's first time in his 18-year career that he has been named as a Pro Bowler. 41 years old, he earned the honor as an alternate, but he's getting the cut, so he'll reunite with his buddy Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, Joe Flacco. Probably the worst thing that they should have kept him there in Cleveland. Hell, he got him to the playoff, crying out loud. I mean, just think what he's done. But, who's ever available, they probably put out a text. Is anybody available next Tuesday for the Pro Bowl, for the flag game to come out and play? So, hey, trip to Santa Clara, or is it Vegas they're playing this thing at? Is it Santa Clara or Vegas? Santa Clara. Yeah. That's the other thing, too, to keep everything there the week of the Super Bowl. So they'll do their skills challenge. They'll play the game and sign autographs and whatever their bonus is for going to the Pro Bowl. Maybe it's $50,000, $100,000. You imagine that? You're totally not going to go to the Pro Bowl. All of a sudden, you get a call. Say, hey, Joe, hey, Shedeur, would you play in the Pro Bowl? And if you have a stipulation in your contract as a bonus, make $100,000. That is just gifted money to you that you take that. And I would think guys have that written in their contract.
The NFL is discussing using video review to assess penalties for violations related to player safety that are missed by officials. So the non-calls are they're not reviewable, but penalties such as like grabbing the face mask, unnecessary roughness, rough the passer, all kinds of stuff like that could be subject to review. So it's an off-season topic that the competition committee will dive into. I'm sure there'll be some others.
Yeah, the first thing I thought of, you just mentioned it, I saw 2 face masks that weren't called in the playoff games. And you could see off the sideline, and I forget which ones they were, the coaches were face masks. So as soon as you hit up high and you grab that face mask, even if you disengage immediately, that's still a face mask call. But there was at least 3 in the playoffs that were missed by the official.
NFL has not officially said this, but it's pretty close. The 2026 salary cap, it will exceed $300 million mark for the first time. The league informed their teams that its projection is 301 to 305. You just think with the jump
Oh my gosh!
Just last year it was 279,
right?
255. You go back to just say 2013, 123,000.
I remember that.
Three times.
I was just sitting there thinking, I remember it was 185 and 190, but 300 million, man. It's not. You know what? Hey, take care of your guys that you want to keep, so you have that continuity. And when you go to the free agent market, you're going to have to spend it wisely. But I'm a true believer, if you're going to build that culture, that continuity, you've got to definitely pay your guys, the staple of guys that you have.
Oh, one more note that I missed, lads, or kind of put this out there, that the Bills have hired or will be hiring Cardinals special teams coordinator Jeff Rogers for the same role for Joe Brady's staff. He was here for 8 seasons.
Experienced guy. There you go. I mean, he's calling guys, and there's not going to be a lot left for experienced guys over the next week now that you've got that. Kubiak's going to interview with the Cardinals and Raiders tomorrow in Seattle.
So Kubiak goes to
Las
Raiders.
Vegas.
Do you think so?
Well, you think they just fall back to LaFleur?
Yeah.
So how do you think he feels if, they're courting everybody?
I don't think the coach really cares.
Well, I just think that he gets back to L.A. and McVay gets there and says, hey, look, if they didn't offer you the job when you were there last Tuesday, wine and dining you, and they want to go interview other people, that's all great, but what's that saying? I was like, well, if he's your guy, don't let him out of the building.
I think I said last week, I can't remember, but like the last four out of the last 5 hires, the Cardinals were the last to hire their coach.
I'm pretty
That's
sure
just something that they like to do again.
Well,
they want to be the last.
I guess so, because they are last in all categories. So,
all right, Hall of Fame quarterback Kurt Warner will join us next to break down today's NFL for quarterback play, or maybe get his thoughts on Bill Belichick as well. He will join us. We also will have Paul Moyer, Seahawks pre- and post-game radio host, and we're coming to you live from Wright Toyota here every Friday. It's Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B. We've got Laz here as well, Connor at the ESPN Radio Studios. So hour number 3 is next, right here on Eden.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody. Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
All Americans should do what they can to prepare for the future. Donald Trump Jr. here with an important message. More and more Americans are looking for ways to diversify their hard-earned money, and gold is the perfect solution. For example, a gold IRA from my trusted friends at the Birch Gold Group lets you diversify your IRA or 401k into physical gold with zero taxes and zero penalties. You stay in control with a tangible asset that's held value for thousands of years. And right now, Birch Gold is offering a free info kit to help you understand how it works. Just text the word SECURE, SECURE, to 989898. There's no pressure, no obligation, just the facts. You can't predict the future, but you can be prepared, but only if you educate yourself. So take that first step right now. Text SECURE to the number 989898 today. That's SECURE to 989898.
Sun Devil men's basketball is heating up, and now you can build a ticket plan on your terms. With the Sun Devils mini plan, you choose any 6 home games you want, including the biggest Big 12 matchups of the year, Kansas and Arizona. Lock in the rivalries, circle the heavy hitters, or stack your schedule with weekends that work for you. 6 games, your choice, your vibes, your Sun Devils. Grab your mini plan today at sundeviltickets.com. That's sundeviltickets.com.
The biggest game of the year is coming, and at Backyard Desert Ridge, it always sells out. Lock in the best seat in the house now. Reserve your table today and pick the perfect spot, right in front of the massive LED wall or surrounded by more than 50 high-def TVs. Great food, ice-cold drinks, and wall-to-wall action so you don't miss a single play. Every year fills up fast, and once it's gone, it's gone. Don't wait. Swing by Backyard Desert Ridge and secure your big game seat today.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports. He's ESPN 620. And now, an on-air sports marketing presentation. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, now on ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD-2, and streaming live at arizonasports.com. The guys are powered by the law offices of Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And now on your ESPN station in Phoenix, ESPN 620, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
2nd and 10.
Warner. Fitzgerald into Steeler territory. 30, 20, 10. Arizona has the lead.
Oh, how about that? And when it comes to the Super Bowl, when it comes to preparation, when it comes to knowing what this week really feels like, there are very few voices better than the one that's about to join us here. He's an NFL Hall of Famer. He's a Super Bowl champion. He's a Super Bowl MVP and one of the greatest postseason quarterbacks the game has ever seen. And we call him a friend. Kurt Warner joins us now here on Roc Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN Radio. How we doing there, Kurt? You ready for a Super Bowl week?
I am always ready for the Super Bowl week. It's been a good year. It's been a fast year. It's been a year that I really didn't know how it was going to play out. And these moments are always great. And we're going to get some new people with an opportunity to win a Super Bowl and kind of cement their legacy. And that to me is always exciting.
Kurt, what would you say is the biggest challenge for the players and even the coaches? Here we are, the Friday before the week of the Super Bowl. I mean, how do you balance the preparation and with everything that comes to mind just to get ready? What's the hardest part too?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a couple challenges. I think the first challenge is just managing yourself until the game. You get so amped up and all you do is talk about this game and you're doing media interviews about this game. And every time you turn on the TV, it's about this game. And so, you hear so much, it's so different than a regular season game where you're kind of going about your life. It is what it is. And then you show up on Sunday and you play. You can't get away from it, or it's hard to get away from it over these next 2 weeks. And so managing all of that and that energy so you're where you want to be game day is the first challenge. I think the second challenge is going into it and kind of understanding what you're getting into, what the Super Bowl has become, and embracing that part of it. We always talk about, life, so many things are a burden or a blessing, and it's all about your perspective. And I remember my first Super Bowl, it was crazy, and they gave out awards that week, and so they were driving me all over the place, and it was media interviews every day. And I remember just kind of getting frustrated with the whole process. Like, I just want to play football. I just want to get to the game. And so I didn't enjoy it. I think there was a lot of pent up energy that first time around. And then after that, you go into it and you go, okay, this is what it is. This is what to expect. Embrace it. Embrace the fact that you're the only show in town, that everybody wants to talk about it, that everywhere you go, you're a star, and you walk outside the hotel room and people want your autograph. And so you understand what it is. And now you look at it and you're able to enjoy the process a lot more. And so I think that's the second part that can become a real challenge. And so much of it is based on how you go in and the perspective that you have with it.
Kurt, it's interesting about these quarterbacks with Sam Darnold and Drake May. And for your first Super Bowl, you look at that Tennessee game that you guys beat. You beat Tennessee. What advice do you give Sam Darnold? What advice do you give Drake May, especially a guy like Darnold, that seems as though he still has to continue to prove to people that he is exercising the ghost of the past. So that'll probably be put to rest in a game like this.
Yeah, the piece of advice that I always give these guys when they go into these games is to realize the Super Bowl in a lot of ways is just like every other game, is that it has its ebbs and flows and, momentum swings. And, one play or one drive or one quarter is not going to dictate this football game. But it's so easy in these moments to understand the gravity of what this means and the history behind it and knowing this is the last game and you can't let the game get away from you. I think my Super Bowls are great examples. I was up 16-0 in one Super Bowl and Titans came back and tied it at 16. I was down 17-3 in one Super Bowl and we came back and tied it at 17-17 with 2 minutes to go. And then you guys remember that the Arizona one, we were down 10. We come back and we take the lead with 2.5 minutes to go. And so there are ebbs and flows and highs and lows and moments where you think, oh, my gosh, I just lost the Super Bowl. But you have to ride the waves and you have to continue to, to stay true to who you are and the games that you've played in the past and know that it's one play at a time. And, these things can swing. And so you can't let one moment take you too high or one take you too low or make you panic in these moments. You have to understand it is football. It's 60 minutes, and it's who plays better for those 60 minutes. It's not about the first 30. It's not about the middle 15. It's about all 60.
And speaking of Sam Darnold, two-part question here for you, Kurt. Speaking of Sam Darnold, where did you see his game grow this year, if any? And then watching Drake May, where did you see him growing in only his second year?
I think with Sam, I love the way they play in Seattle. I thought it played really to his strengths in terms of, a lot more under center, a lot more play action, kind of simplified the game from that perspective. They got him on the move a lot. I think he's a very gifted thrower on the move. So they stayed in his wheelhouse a lot of the time. I think where he struggled in his career is when they get into drop back mode and you got to read the field and he's got to play that sort of game where so much is kind of counting on his right arm and his decision making. But I do think we saw, especially the back half of the year, that Rams game where they're down 16 and he has to bring them back at regulation and they've got to, answer the touchdown the Rams had in overtime. And a lot of that was drop back, throwing the football and making decisions. Felt the same in the championship game that he grew or at least showed us, more of what he's capable of in those moments. And that's what I'd love to see. And I think that's what's going to quiet the narrative that's been out there with him. In terms of Drake, I thought he made huge strides. I think Josh McDaniels was huge in, how they play. I look at these two quarterbacks and, Seattle plays a lot of the pure progression type offense, where it's doesn't matter what the play call or the defense gives you. The play call is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you work through it that way. And then Drake and what they do in New England is very much the opposite of what we call full field reads. Read the coverage. Get to your reads based off of what the coverage shows you. Very much how Tom Brady played the game, how I played the game. And so Josh has brought him along in that sort of system. Not as complicated. They don't throw as many plays out there right now. But I think Drake's done a great job of seeing that and managing that and understanding where to go with the football. And then couple that with his ability to throw the ball down the field. He's been the best deep ball thrower, I think, in the NFL this year. He throws an unbelievable deep ball with great touch and great accuracy. And that was the difference for them in the regular season. They haven't got as much of that in the postseason, and it's a reason why their offense has struggled. But, that to me is along with what he's done in the system and mentally, the physical part of him throwing the ball down the field has just been a separator for him this year.
This is with Kurt Warner here. Kurt, when you look at this matchup, these teams inside and out, you watch all the film. If you look at your crystal ball, what's the one type of play that could swing this game? Either a turnover, a busted coverage, a red zone decision. What do you think if you're kind of looking ahead in your crystal ball?
Yeah, I think just knowing these to quarterback. And, what I've seen, whether this year or even in the past with Sam, I would say it could easily come down to one of these guys trying to prolong a play and making, the ad lib, the extra play. And it could go either way. Both of these guys have shown the ability to buy a little bit of time. I think Drake's really good at buying time and making throws on the move. But I've also seen negative plays by these guys when they've tried to prolong plays. Whether that's a late throw that leads to an interception for Sam, whether that's a fumble that Drake has had. He's had a bunch of them here in the playoffs, and a lot of it is because he's trying to hold on to the football and create some extra opportunities. So that's one area that I think is being able to manage, when a play's over and when you need to extend it and make the play. And when those guys do that in this game, does it turn into a big positive or does it lead to a negative? I think, could go a long way with these two really good defenses they're facing.
So, Kurt, where's the balance? Because I remember first day I get to Buffalo, Chuck Knox tells the quarterback, take care of the ball and be smart with the football. And I hear you saying that. But at some point, can you be aggressive? You might have a little gunslinger attitude in you, i.e. Sam Darnold or something like that. In your frame of mind, when you were playing these Super Bowls, was there a constant to say, let's just take the sack? It's okay to punt. Or I've got to try to pump this one in there. At what point do you have those decisions made, or is it just you got to fill it out while you're at the game?
Yeah, I think you have to feel it out in game because you never want to really think about it beforehand where it's like, maybe I don't want to make this throw. Like, if you see it, you rip it. Like you guys know, I was never worried about an interception. Like, if I felt I could make it, if the defense, if what I saw said throw it, I threw it. I attacked because you don't want to be conservative and hold off and gosh darn, I wish I would have thrown that, but I was trying to play conservative. So you have to play in the moment. But it's interesting you asked that because I asked Sam Darnold, did an interview with him just yesterday, and I asked him, when you play with a defense like you have, does that make you more aggressive or more conservative? And he actually answered and said, both. That there's sometimes where I just say to myself, okay, you get the right look, rip it. And if it doesn't work out, you got a defense that can back you up. And he said there's other times where I understand the situation and it's like, you don't have to take this chance. Even though it might be open and maybe you can make that throw, it's okay. You got a really good defense. You might pass on a big play, but you can pass it and you can punt and you're okay. And so, it is very interesting when you have good defenses like that, how you decide to play the game. And, neither one's right or wrong because I think you do have the benefit of having the other side help you or bail you out if need be. But I do think it's about feeling out the game and the situation and knowing, what you're capable of. Do you have a team that doesn't have that great defense? And now you feel like you got to make more of those plays. Might make a mistake along the way, but you got to make more plays if you're going to have a chance to win. So I think it is an interesting dynamic for every quarterback to have to manage and balance both of those things and try to do it the best you can each and every time out.
Kurt, last one. When you see the entire NFL rally behind Bill Belichick after the Hall of Fame snub, does that tell you that the voting process is maybe broken or maybe it's just evolving? Where do you put that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always a hard thing. I mean, so much of this is, subjective and the whys, and then what we weigh, because, I'm a believer like most people that obviously the resume of Bill Belichick is as good as anybody we're ever going to have that's up for the Hall of Fame. And to me, he should be a lock in the Hall of Fame. And now the question becomes, why was he left out? Was he left out because of the scandals that he was involved with, which there's a side of me that could understand that if that was something that we've said, from the beginning of the Hall of Fame. Hey, if you're involved in something like this, A, you don't get in, or A, you have to wait. Okay, I can understand it. But that's never been the case. So that, to me, shouldn't be used in this particular situation. If it's the other part of when you talk about changing the voting where coaches only have to be out 1 year instead of 5 years like a player does. Is it because a lot of people think, well, Bill Belichick may come back and coach again, and we'd rather wait until his career is over and then enshrine him in Canton? And that does maybe lend itself to what you're talking about and saying, maybe we need to change those rules. Maybe we do need to make it 5 years so a guy's further away and probably further away from coming back before we, put them in Canton and kind of solidify their history in the game. And so, yeah, I think it always needs to be checked and tweaked and asked the question, are we doing it right? Are we getting it right? But you guys know as well as anybody, these things are so subjective when you have so many people involved. And it's not always black and white and why or why not. But I'm fully with you guys that based on the way it's been done in the past, Bill Belichick should have been a no-brainer, first ballot Hall of Famer, no doubt.
Kurt, enjoy the week. We'll be watching you, man, and listening. So thank you so much for squeezing us in before you head over to Santa Clara.
You got it. Enjoy it, guys.
Yep, that's Kurt Warner joining us. Of course, you can follow him at Kurt13Warner. Good stuff as always, man. It's always nice to catch up with Kurt. Appreciate the Hall of Famer joining Roc and Manuch here on ESPN Radio. Phoenix, all right, we are going to get into betting records, some labor fights, Super Bowl politics, and something Arizona's hosting that's never been done before. We're spinning the wheel next.
Phoenix, it's the biggest week in golf, and we're right in the middle of it. Join Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B live from DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale for the WM Open. Monday through Wednesday, February 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Special guests, giveaways, wall-to-wall WM Open energy, and the best atmosphere in golf before the madness even starts. Grab a seat, grab a drink, and be part of the action. Or listen live on ESPN 620. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Live at DraftKings TPC Scottsdale. WM Open Week. Don't miss it.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Swing into Van's Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf to get custom fit for the new TaylorMade QI40 driver. The QI40 family is TaylorMade's fastest, most fittable driver line. Don't miss out on your chance to find your new fast and schedule your fitting in-store or online today. Van's Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Trusted by golfers since 1963 and home to the legendary 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee. Get there.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selection. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and always online at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out WrightToyota.com.
Hi, I'm your kid's old jeans. I've been in the drawer for a while and really missed the playground. You should swing by Goodwill and drop me off. Donating me helps Goodwill's mission to provide career training and support services right here in the community. Plus, I could get back into the game. Donate today. Tag, you're it.
To find your nearest Goodwill locations and to learn more about our mission, please visit goodwill.org. Goodwill, where your things start new lives.
Everyone deserves access to quality health. But for half the world's population, essential health services are out of reach. At AmeriCares, we know access to quality health saves lives. We care. It's our call to action. It's in our name, AmeriCares. AmeriCares about our communities, our neighbors, our families. AmeriCares about good health for a better world. Join us. Learn how at americares.org/goodhealth.
It's Friday, and the guys are live from Wright Toyota. Right on the corner, right on the price. Wright Toyota, located at 77th Street and Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale. Now back to the guys on ESPN 620.
All right, sports on Shuffle, business betting, culture, chaos. Paul Moyer coming up in about 8 minutes, so we'll fly through this, kind of go around the horn. Super Bowl betting is about to shatter records. $1.76 billion is expected to be wagered legally for Super Bowl 60, which is a 27% jump year over year. That number includes only legal U.S. sports books, which covers about 40 states. So this will be an all-time record. New York alone was 26 billion.
$26 billion.
It's just that's the whole year.
Yeah.
WNBA strike threat is very real, folks. Sources saying,
"Say it ain't so, Rock."
Labor talks are now at a breaking point.
Oh my God!
16 months of stalled CBA negotiation.
Oh my God!
Players have voted 98% in favor of the strike. The core issue is revenue sharing. The union wants 30% of a league revenue plus a $10 million salary cap. Teams are already preparing to delay, which I'm not. I may have to give my season.
Yeah, Rock.
I don't know what I'm doing about my season.
What are you going to do, man?
They're delaying the 2026 season, and there'll be a potential work stoppage before May. Other than the folks that love the sport, I all the respect and work for that.
Yeah.
Would it be missed?
No, absolutely not. And I think that, again, we've been talking about if it was not for Kate Clark coming on the map, they wouldn't even be trying to do this, because I think they need to realize that without Kate Clark, you'd have to be status quo, because that's why they're showing up. So they're seeing all these numbers and
They need to make her player, coach, commissioner. Yeah, have her do it all.
Just give her the
give her the $10 million.
You know what? And give her part of your salary commission, or her putting you on the map.
She get a piece of the league.
Could be.
The Fiesta Sports Foundation, which is Fiesta Bowl, is hosting the first ever Division I Women's Flag Football National Championship. It'll be April 18th to 19th. It'll be at Arizona State. You got 8 teams from around the country, including ASU, GCU, UCLA, USC, Florida, Georgia, UCF. Alabama State is the only varsity level program. And the Fiesta Bowl Foundation, they're covering the travel, the housing, the meals, the player hospitality. So Arizona just became a national stage for the future of women's football. CC, breaking news.
Yeah, I figured I'd get this to you guys real quick while we're on the Sports on Shuffle, but this coming out right now, the Seattle Seahawks are set to go up for sale following the Super Bowl. So immediately after the Super Bowl, it looks like the Seattle Seahawks are going to be up for new ownership.
So let's say if they win the Super Bowl, I'll say $8 billion.
Yeah, I'd probably say 8 to 9 billion. I mean, the Allen family, they need the money, right? Yeah, I'd say I'll say 8 to 10.
Timing's curious. Why come out now?
She lost her husband, her brother, a couple years ago. She's running it now. Maybe she just feels if I sell it, somebody else can take it over. And she just sits back, counts the billions of dollars that the Allen family has.
ESPN Films is releasing they have released the trailer for the new 30 for 30, the Philly special. It'll premiere next week. It covers the Eagles Super Bowl win, their run. Of course, if you remember the Philly special with Nick Foles, it's produced by NFL Films, and it focuses on that trick play against the Patriots. So good timing. So that'll be out next week. Daily Digit today, 37 million. That's the average viewership of NFL playoffs heading into the Super Bowl. This is the second best postseason in the last decade. It's up 5% from last year. 6th best playoff run since 1988. So people aren't leaving football. They're watching more of it.
No way.
The Patriots and the Seahawks will be wearing a USA 250 patch on their jersey. Marks the 250th anniversary of the United States. So the NFL has already used game balls, coin tosses, sidelines, and the branding will continue into the NFL draft. So the Super Bowl just turned into a birthday party.
Yes, it did.
For America. The College Sports Commission is building a full investigative unit to enforce the House versus NCAA settlement. So they're hiring, if you're looking for a job, guys, former law enforcement, prosecutors, investigators, NIL analysts. They will investigate the revenue sharing violations, the NIL deal abuse, the roster limitations. So there's all kinds of jobs. So this is no longer the Wild West.
What
College
was it?
sports is hiring sheriffs, Manuch. They're hiring sheriffs.
NCAA's gonna finally go do something.
Yep.
When the river is under the bridge, the toothpaste out of the bottle.
Yep. This is good for lads, as despite the massive growth, prediction markets like Kasashi, is that how you say it? Just say it out loud. You don't have to put your headset on. But Kalashi will not be allowed to advertise during the Super Bowl. The NFL is citing integrity concerns. Shut the fuck up.
I'm not familiar with them. I just
I have it on my cell phone. You could basically
Kalashi.
You can predict if, say, if the national anthem is going to be a minute 42.
Oh, I see.
Or
Kalashi.
if President Trump's going to be able to get F1 in D.C. this year. I mean, stuff like that. But sports books are allowed. How about that? Sports books are allowed. By the way, the 30-second Super Bowl ad now, $10 million.
$10 million. I remember it was 500,000, and we thought that was outrageous.
And then finally, a federal judge denied class action status in a lawsuit brought by 10 retired NFL players over disability benefits. So what happened was the judge ruled that players lacked, they weren't all on the same page, basically what he said.
Oh, yeah.
And said the case can't move as a group because they're not on the same page. So the players must now appeal or sue individually. This doesn't clear the NFL, but it makes the fight just a lot harder.
Just another one where you have the concussion issues, you have these kind of issues, and it is, quite frankly, red tape trying to get any kind of collecting on some of these benefits.
So, of course, Super Bowl next week. We just talked about the Seahawks going up for sale. We're going to see if our next guest is going to make a play to buy them, as we're going to catch up with Paul Moyer, the pre- and post-game radio host on the Seahawks radio network, former Sun Devil. He will join us next, right after this ESPN Radio 620 Sports Center update with Con.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with QBB's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Connor Collins. The Phoenix Suns beat the Detroit Pistons last night, 114-96, as they had a 40-point output from Dylan Brooks and a career high, and 24 from Grayson Allen. Phoenix now improves to 29-19 on the season, and they're expecting the return of guard Jalen Green tonight. In MLB news, the Arizona Diamondbacks and reliever Derek Law reached agreement on a minor league contract with a spring training invite as Arizona adds bullpen depth. And in the NFL, the Arizona Cardinals continue their head coaching search, with Seahawks offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak set to meet with the team in Seattle this weekend as the process moves forward. The weekend is better at Twin Peaks, and nobody does sports like Twin Peaks. Nobody. Catch the action at the Five Valley Twin Peaks locations and enjoy all-day specials on ice cold draft beers, buckets, specialty cocktails, plus scratch fights that actually satisfy. Paul Moyer from the Seahawks Radio comes next.
Game on Peoria. When it's time to eat big, drink cold, and watch every play, make it Big's American Bar and Grill in the P83 district. Big's is serving up huge portions of your favorites. Burgers, wings, nachos, plus a full bar and TVs everywhere you look. And don't miss happy hour Monday through Thursday, 3 to 6:30 p.m. with $2 off well drinks and $2 off domestic drafts, plus daily specials all week long. Bring your friends, grab a seat on the patio, and settle in for the game. Big's American Bar and Grill, where Peoria comes to play, eat, and watch.
You applied to Grand Canyon University because you want somewhere fun and affordable, where hands-on classes and access to industry pros can help you build skills employers need, with the opportunity to graduate in less than 4 years. You want to feel seen, loved, called to more, to know you found your purpose. Make yourself the main character. Begin your story. Find your purpose at GCU. Visit gcu.edu.
My name is Whitney Allen. I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage, no medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
For 100 days, I'm going to cross the 7 continents because the answers to everything important are out there at the edges of our world. I'm stepping into the unknown. Where are we going? To see our planet as it's never been seen before. From pole to pole.
Pole to Pole with Will Smith from National Geographic. Now streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu.
Show me the way.
Arizona children enter the foster system every day. If you're a parent, a coach, a teacher, or just someone who cares about young people, then you may be in a position to help. Becoming a foster parent not only creates a positive ripple effect in a child's life, it can improve our entire community. That's the foster effect. To learn more, go to azdcs.gov/foster effect. This message is brought to you by the Arizona Department of Child Safety.
Yo, I'm your old basketball. Haven't seen you out on the courts in a while. Why not pass me over to Goodwill? Donating me helps Goodwill's mission to provide career training and support services right here in the community. And that's a slam dunk. Donate today. Hey, I got next.
To find your nearest Goodwill locations and to learn more about our mission, please visit goodwill.org. Goodwill, where your things start new lives.
It's Friday, and the guys are live from Wright Toyota. Right on the corner, right on the price. Wright Toyota, located at 77th Street and Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale. Now back to the guys on ESPN 620.
Walker looking for the trifecta. He's got it. Touchdown, Seahawks.
All right, we get a shot to talk to the Seahawks pre- and post-game hosts before the big week. Paul Moyer joins us now from Sun Devil. Joins us now on the right to the guest line with Roc and Manuch, ESPN Radio Phoenix. Paul, we just got word that the Seahawks will go up for sale after the Super Bowl. So get a team together?
You put your offer in already there, Paul?
Did you guys really just hear that? I didn't even hear it.
Yeah, it says that Seth Wickersham is the one who reported the franchise could set a record for a sale price for $7 billion, $7 billion plus.
Well, if you take about 6 zeros off that, I'm in. But
let's write a check.
That, you know what? That's really interesting. Obviously, when Paul Allen died, part of his, estate planning is at some point, but he never put a timeline on it that it would be sold. And Vulcan is and Jody Allen, they're business people, and obviously you sell high when you get that opportunity, so that's going to happen. But that would be that's a bummer because Jody's been fantastic as well. I'm hoping it goes to somebody from Vulcan who may want to step up and continue to run that. But wow. Yeah, I didn't hear that, but I'm in Texas, so news travels slow down here.
Paul, it's interesting. You watch Jody Allen, and you watch her during these championship runs. You see her on those stages. She seems like she's really genuinely dialed into the team, into the players.
She is. When Paul Allen died, a lot of people thought that she was going to sell it as quickly as she could. And she didn't want to sell it. I mean, she's made it clear. I like this organization. Obviously, John Schneider has built a fantastic top-down organization. They've let him run his deal, and at the same time, they give him good sound advice. So it's been a great relationship. And, unlike the Portland Trailblazers, which has just been a cluster, the Seahawks, other than a couple of years over the last 20, it's been a pretty good ride. I mean, it's as successful as any franchise in the NFL over that time frame. So, yeah, that's disappointing. Boy, I hate to see it because it has been a really good relationship. But I think having John Schneider locked up for a while will help.
You know, we talk about John Schneider, we talk about the general manager in Philadelphia. Just year in and year out, you guys have got solid football teams. You're always there, especially as you mentioned, Paul, the last 20 years. So what is it about John Schneider? I mean, why don't teams just line up and try to get his blueprint about what he's doing? Is it because of ownership? Is he that much more intelligent? Is it the scouting staff? Is it the kind of guy hires as head coach? What do you think the formula is, or the great sauce that he puts in that deal that always has you guys successful?
Yeah, I think the science behind running an organization, everybody gets it. You know, the art is different. I mean, that's just a feel. And I will say this about John. First, John's one of the most humble, likable guy. You would love him. You can go to a place called Dino's, which is just across the freeway from 12 Seahawks Drive, where their facilities are, and he'll be over there a couple times a week, particularly off season, and you can let her go sit down and have a beer with him. And he knows everybody in that organization, and he treats everybody. I see him, and it's game day, and I'm like, I don't want to bug him. And he comes up and he hugs you and he asks you how you doing, and he looks you in the eye, and I'm like, you're about to play the Los Angeles Rams for the right to go to the Super Bowl, and you're not even nervous. But that's him. He's just a people person. He has great processes. You have to be a gym rat. You better love everything about this game. And it's not that you spend 16, 20 hours a day because you have to, it's because you want to. And I just think that's it. I mean, he just has such a desire, and there's an art form to it. Now, I will say this. Pete had his way, and John built it for Pete. And that kind of got away from us for a couple of years. Mike McDonald, his first year, when he first came in, he was like, all right, John, I'm going to lean on you. And about halfway through the season last year, Mike McDonald said, we got to get Ernest Jones. We got to get Leonard Williams. We've got to get some safeties. We got to rechange things. And they did it at the bye week. And then coming into this season, let's get D-Long, Lawrence. And that's been a home run too. So I just think John says, okay, coach, this is our philosophy as well, because they do have the same philosophy. What kind of player do you want? And John just finds a way to do that. And he's not afraid to make mistakes, because if you're afraid to make mistakes in this league, you'll never draft anybody good. You'll overanalyze it, analysis paralysis.
So the courting of Sam Darnold. Okay, so again, you go, why would Minnesota give up on that kid, not re-sign him? And next thing you know, he's taking a hometown deal in Seattle. We all know the kid's good, but he's taking a chance because, again, he might make the playoff, get you to the playoffs, start seeing ghosts per se. How did Schneider ignore that and get Coach McDonald to buy into that, to have him as your quarterback?
Well, I think the first one was, it was Geno Smith. And they weren't against bringing Geno Smith back, but they knew Geno wasn't a great quarterback. He was a good quarterback for us, and we won games, and they gave him an offer that was, you're good, but you're 34 years old, you're not great. And, the one thing about Mike McDonald, John Schneider is, all right, once they make the decision, you move forward. And 2 days later, they traded him. But the thing about Sam Darnold, man, all you got to do is put the film on.
Sure.
Just go watch the film. Go watch Minnesota last year, all by 2 games that everybody's talking about. And if you go watch those 2 games, their offensive line, Minnesota, was atrocious. It was horrible. And I'm not going to put none of it on Sam Darnold, but I'm not putting all of that on Sam. You don't get 9 sacks when it's a jailbreak every time. I'm looking at this year. I go, other than the one Ram game where he threw the 4 interceptions, and I think that one did get in his head. He went into the game saying, I'm not going to get sacked 9 times. I'll throw 4 interceptions instead. Okay, we corrected that. He has been nothing but brilliant in about 16, 17 games this year. And the way he spins it, the way he's willing to take a hit and still throw perfect passes. I've said this, I think I told you guys last time. He's the most talented quarterback in NFL history, or excuse me, in Seahawk history. Seahawk history. I've never seen us have a guy who can make every throw inside the pocket, enough mobility. And now it's playing out. Everybody's getting the chance to see why he was picked the third pick in the first round when he came out.
All right, Paul, all the stars on this team, who's the Seahawks, let's say, quiet difference maker that, you know, doesn't get talked about, but it's somebody that you're going to keep an eye on heading into this game?
Doesn't get talked about much. Wow, there's probably a few of them. The problem is some of them aren't that loud or in the Pro Bowl and have made all pro. You know, Leonard Williams finally getting a lot of publicity. And to me, he is the leader. He's the quiet leader. He's a man. He's one. Ernest Jones is another one that I think. But I think the one guy, and again, I don't know if he's a big name. I don't think he's a big name nationally. Is Julian Love. He's our free safety. He can do anything. He can cover. He comes up in the box. He can hit. He's smart. He's so well respected. Man, again, he's another guy. If you sat down and interviewed him, you'd walk away and say, I want him to be my friend. He's just that kind of guy. So I think there's a few on defense. On offense, A.J. Barner, our tight end. He's a second-year guy. In the offseason, he became the alpha male on that offense, and they talk about it. And he's become really a fantastic tight end, both in blocking and in receiving. So probably A.J. Barner is that unsung hero, quiet guy on the offense. And, man, I don't know, man, there's so many on defense.
You know, Paul, we brought you in, we listened to, Kenneth Walker III. I mean, watching this kid is just, he's like a gyroscope. He's like a top. He's just tough to bring down. What is it about his running style? I mean, he got on the edge on that one touchdown run. I mean, they had him dead to rights, and he outran him to the corner for that touchdown. What is it about this young man you notice week in and week out that still impresses you?
Well, I think it came maybe about after the fifth or sixth game of this year. But first of all, he's one of the fastest running backs in the league. I think there was one time he had the third fastest. He got like 22 miles an hour, a year or two ago. So the guy's top end speed is there, and he gets to it extremely quick. And as you mentioned, that first touchdown, they had it bottled up.
Yes.
He stopped and hits the corner, gets the top speed right away. They have another one that shows it probably in the first quarter, might even been the first drive, where a guy, again, steps up in the hole. He makes just a quick, fake to the right and then an immediate cut to the left. So he can make people miss. But what I think changes was Mike McDonald. Mike is about getting the most out of people, but he's also a tough love coach. Hey, this is what the expectations are. You either get it done or someone else will. And so Charbonnet started getting more and more touches. And then I just think once they figured out what his strengths were and that, hey, this is what you do well, we're going to set you up to do that well. And we don't want a lot of dancing anymore. Sometimes you just got to hit the hole and get 1 yard. It's better than a 3-yard loss. And I think that's what changed him. And then they finally got him involved in the screen game. And he's electric out the screen game, which we saw that versus the 49ers and the Rams.
Paul, last one for me. When it comes to just the 12th man, the fan base there right now. You guys have been there before. You guys are you open as 4.5-point favorite. What's the pulse right now? This team is like everyone's on Seattle. Everybody's on Seattle.
Yeah, I think it's been a nice lull for us. We would go to that Super Bowl in 2013, 2014, had, a lot of good teams.
Yeah.
Around 2017, that Legion of Boom, we weren't in the playoff. Well, we were still in the playoffs a lot, but we weren't winning playoff games. We were no longer really a Super Bowl contending team. So there's just that lull enough. And then all of a sudden, this was a little bit unexpected. I think we knew about halfway through the season. I said after the Ram game when we lost to them the first time there, I said they're going to run the table. And they ran the table so far. And partly, as I said, we look like the best team on film, both sides of the ball. So the 12s are crazy. Top ticket, obviously, in the Super Bowl. I will say this, though. I just got done finally. I definitely wanted to bask in the glory of that last victory and take some time to celebrate it, not jump into film too early. Just got done watching New England. They're a problem. They are way better than I thought they were. There's a reason why they only lost 3 games this year. They are really well coached. Great defense. It's going to be, I think it's going to be a low scoring game. So the 12s are going to travel awfully well. And I think we're going to need them to win this game because I think it's going to be a low scoring, tough game.
And last but not least for me, Clint Kubiak, your well sought after offensive coordinator, has got the Raiders and Cardinals coming in tomorrow. Now, he's professional enough not to allow him to distract him, but it seems as though he might be the odds on for either one of them. My whole thing is why not stand another year and try to run it back and build even more value for next year? So it seems like he's the soup du jour for the last 2 openings of the National Football League.
Yeah, those 2 are waiting on something. And there's no question that Kubiak is, look, he's done a fantastic job this year. If I'm him, I'm not taking that Raider job. That's just, you're just taking it for the money. I mean, that's a lousy organization. He's been now with some really good organizations. So know what that is all about. Make sure you have a quarterback. Arizona, again, I don't want to say they're a lousy organization, but there's certainly, it's unsettled at quarterback. And, Kyler Murray, who knows what's going on there. I'm like you. I think if you bring it back one more year and you have that success, now you're a guy like Mike McDonald. You're a guy like, drawing a blank, the guy from Chicago, head coach, Ben Johnson. You can take any job you want. And I just don't want him to go to a bad organization because he's a great guy, good mind. I'd love to have him obviously back for one more year, but he may be at Arizona. I mean, if I'm going to take the 2 between Arizona and the Vegas, I'm taking Arizona.
A lot of people like hearing that. Paul, thank you so much. If we don't get a chance to talk to you game week, thank you so much for some time today, and have a great weekend and have a great week.
You got it, guys. Appreciate it. Go Sun Devils.
You got it. Paul Moyer, Seahawks pre and post. It's always nice to talk to us about the Seahawks and the 12s. You follow him on X at Paul Moyer. And today he is brought to you by All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company. Whether you're stranded or need professional transport, All City has the experience to get the job done right 24/7. And they're hiring drivers, dispatchers right now. Join a winning team. Go to the website. Everything's right there. Just search careers at allcitytowing.com. All right. We had Sean Salisbury on in the first hour, and I kind of went down that road of how upset New Englanders are right now with Belichick. And it kind of led us down a road where he decided to give us his best Boston masshole impersonation. So we are going to bring that back to you. It's pretty funny. He did a nice job. So we'll have that next. Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B, right here, right Toyota.
The biggest game of the year is coming, and at Backyard Desert Ridge, it always sells out. Lock in the best seat in the house now. Reserve your table today and pick the perfect spot, right in front of the massive LED wall or surrounded by more than 50 high-def TVs. Great food, ice-cold drinks, and wall-to-wall action so you don't miss a single play. Every year fills up fast, and once it's gone, it's gone. Don't wait. Swing by Backyard Desert Ridge and secure your big game seat today.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. The insurance company's job is to pay you as little as possible. Our job is to get you every dollar you deserve. Call Lerner today and let's make them pay. Call 977-1900.
Phoenix, it's the biggest week in golf, and we're right in the middle of it. Join Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B live from DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale for the WM Open. Monday through Wednesday, February 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Special guests, giveaways, wall-to-wall WM Open energy, and the best atmosphere in golf before the madness even starts. Grab a seat, grab a drink, and be part of the action. Or listen live on ESPN 620. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Live at DraftKings TPC Scottsdale. WM Open Week. Don't miss it.
Life's a sprint, and you need a quick pick-me-up. Meet G2G protein bars, the ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether you're hustling in the office, enjoying a day on the links, or conquering the daily grind, G2G is your perfect fuel. Score an 8-pack at your local Costco's refrigerated section or explore amazing flavors at G2GBar.com. Quick, delicious, and power-packed. G2G protein bars, setting the pace for your energetic lifestyle.
Hey, it's Eli Winders. Just a reminder, if you're feeling low, you're not alone. Life can get tough, and we all need a hand sometimes. Don't be afraid to talk to someone, even if it's just to get things off your chest. You have to take care of yourself so you can take care of business. Remember, there's no shame in asking for help. You've got people who care about you. Reach out if you need to, and check in on those you care about too. We're all in this together. This message is courtesy of the United States Air Force.
Arizona children enter the foster system every day. If you're a parent, a coach, a teacher, or just someone who cares about young people, then you may be in a position to help. Becoming a foster parent not only creates a positive ripple effect in a child's life, it can improve our entire community. That's the foster effect. To learn more, go to azgcs.gov/foster effect. This message is brought to you by the Arizona Department of Child Safety.
It's the Lerner and Rowe one call, that's all call of the day. If you're looking for a full-service law firm, just make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. Lerner and Rowe, voted Arizona's best law firm.
How can they not put Bill in the Hall of Fame? Well, I can throw a few F-bombs and a couple other words that the East Coast Bostonians are great at throwing, and I love it. But give me a beer. We're going to go to Fenway Park and stand on the Fenway on the Monster and about Bill not getting in. How dare them? What are they going to do with Tommi? They don't ever call him Tom either. You know, East Coast, Tommi.
Tommi.
It's like Tommi was there so long, it's like it's their kid. He's a relative. They would put on the book, Tommi will be there. We're going to talk about Bill. It's just ridiculous. These effing sea suckers. How dare them? You know, shame on Foley. What did that guy ever win? Oh, he won a couple Super Bowls. Screw him. Bill won 30 of them. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Love it. I love my Bostonian. I know you guys are going nuts, but I can just hear them with that. And the accent gets more pronounced the more pissed off they get.
So true. Love you, Boston.
Classic Sean.
It is just they are losing. They are losing their mind right now. They have been since the Belichick snub and
the over-exaggeration.
It's just so great. Couldn't happen to a better fan base with Spygate and all the cheating they've done over the years. And it's nuts.
Not that they've
So
won a
much fun.
few championships in
Yeah, they've won a lot of
basketball,
them and everything.
football,
The city's won everything. I mean, it's
baseball,
it's
hockey.
lots of success.
Yeah, the
Some
enable.
of us are jealous because of it. But
Yeah, we are.
I don't want to hear it. You know, when people are ripping Philly fans. I mean, they're just as bad up there. They're just.
You know,
as bad.
we've
I mean,
never.
who cares throwing a ball here and there? Give me a break.
Yeah, with just make
But
sure there's
those
no
guys are
batteries in it.
cheating, but they're cheating.
You know, it's interesting that thing probably is going to linger for him with the Spygate, the Deflategate, all the above.
But
will linger him for him, but
not for Tom Brady.
Well, and then that's the other thing too. Tom will be slam dunk first ballot, but to that
you
point,
said that about Belichick.
Well, you're right, but I mean, with the Hall of Famers, how much did that hang over? You know, some of the Tom Brady as far as that's concerned. That thing was so. I don't know.
It was so much fun.
It was just a
And
blast.
There's just maybe next week we'll have some fun, do some Throwback Thursday stuff, and pull some old Tom Brady Deflategate bits. that
We had
used to do
great bits.
Just it was so much fun.
Yeah, and the thing is, to this day, we want to know where those two equipment managers are.
Yeah, where are
they? Seem to have disappeared.
They're in Mexico or some island, the Bahamas.
They might be well taken care of. We want to just track the money.
Seriously, how have they not come out for a 30 for 30?
Well, or how about they signed an NDA?
Yeah, they had to.
They had to sign an NDA, non-disclosure with Brady and the Patriots. I'm sure that they've taken their $30 million apiece. There, to your point,
you think it's that much?
It's got to be quite the bit. You don't want that to come
There's
back.
got to be
haunt you.
somebody that knows, and somebody that Tom has told somebody and it'll come out eventually.
You would wonder when somebody's conscious finally goes, you know what? I got to come clean.
Yeah.
I got to call ESPN. I
Like,
got
like Pete Rose?
Yeah.
After all those years.
After all those years.
Came clean.
They're in the witness protection program in North Dakota somewhere.
It's just, anyway. All right. Here's what's on tap here on the mothership, Arizona Sports tonight. Suns and Cavs. It starts at 6, game at 7. Tomorrow, 11:30 is the pregame for ASU U of A. 12 o'clock tip-off on 98.7. Then on Sunday night, 5 o'clock, it all gets started for the Suns pre-free and pregame at 5:30. And it's at 6 o'clock at the Clippers. It's Suns Clippers on Sunday down at the arena. So there you have it. By the way, the one call by Lerner Rowe, if you've been injured in an accident, don't try to handle it alone. Lerner Rowe has been voted Arizona's best personal injury law firm year after year after year. Interact, need a check, then make the call. One call, that's all. 602-977-1900. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we are really excited. We're fortunate that we do our show on the road quite a bit, and DraftKings is one of our favorites. We'll be there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of the Open. We got some great guests scheduled. Larry Fitzgerald's actually going to sit down with us for a while. We'll have the commissioner on. We'll have some golfers. We'll talk Super Bowl all week. Putting together a contest for you to be able to call in and predict the score, win a big prize. We're kind of putting that, trying to get that together. We'll probably launch that on Monday as well. And Jimmy B will be back.
Jimmy B, we're going to have at least 4 days next week.
Yeah,
oh, my God.
It's going to be rough for him.
You know,
we may have to give him, like, Thursday off. So.
Temperature is supposed to be 75 to 80 every day of the week next week. 75 to 80
That's
degrees.
the case. They're going to break numbers. I think they're going to break numbers for the Pro-Am with Travis Kelce and all the big names that are playing in that. I mean, they got a star-studded group this year.
Labs was saying that Saturday's GM General is sold out already.
It was last year, too.
Was it last year?
Oh, yeah.
I thought they just kept selling them and selling them.
What they did after a couple years ago when they had the problem, they did individual GAs. So remember, you had a GA pass, you could go any day.
Right.
That's where they had their issues. So they decided to fix that, where they have Friday GA, Saturday GA, Sunday GA, which was a smart move. The only challenge is the $120-something a ticket.
And they'll get
now they're getting $300-400. Monday and Tuesday's free if you want to get out there. But that's cool they do that. But
just so you folks, it's Monday, Tuesday. They're busier than you ever thought they were. So just I'd give a heads up to get out there early on all 3 days. But look forward to DraftKings.
Just a little plug. Orangedale Lounge, which is Bell at Thompson Peak. It's the closest bar to the Waste Management Phoenix Open, and a huge parking lot. You park there, take the Uber over. It's
just a driver through it, 5-iron from the Open.
You're gonna have it, and we'll be open. We'll be open at 9 a.m. every day. Anyway, have a great weekend. We'll see you at DraftKings on Monday.